All right, welcome into the latest edition of the Second Half Draft Show. I'm your host, Juice, joined by Headley and Drew. And as the thumbnail suggests, we're going to be covering our top 200 draft board. We have some updates that we want to touch on, discuss, get your thoughts on that. This is really the last update prior to the combine. So, before we have any official measurements and athletic testing to then juxtapose against the film, this is the last update before that. And then we're going to get into the Denver Broncos and Minnesota Vikings, a pair of 7-round mock drafts as we continue that team specific 7-round mock draft series. All right. So with that being said, let's turn our attention to the draft board. And we had originally planned on discussing it this past Friday. One thing led to another, and we had to push it back to tonight. So really want to delve into this. We're not going to belabor the point. I don't imagine that we're going to spend a ton of time on this, but certainly want to review our updates and address any thoughts from the audience as it relates to these rankings. And as I mentioned, this is the last time we'll be updating the rankings ahead of the combine, which will be, actually starts in a couple of days and then goes into the weekend. So we'll have an athletic testing to kind of juxtapose, figure out who we need to go back, double check the tape, any surprises that we haven't necessarily covered. When it's all said and done, we should have a solid top 300 for you when it's all said and done. So looking forward to that. All right. So that being said, no big change here at the top. In fact, the first, I believe, I want to say it was 43 spots go unchanged. I believe the first 43 go unchanged, but we'll go through the top players really quickly. Of course, we have Marvin Harrison Jr. at the very top, followed by Caleb Williams, Brock Bowers, Olu Fashanu, Malik Neighbors, Joe Alt, Roma Dunze, Latu round out the top 8. Then it goes to Drake May, Johnny Newton. We got to update that. He wants to go by Johnny Newton, not Jerzon. Jared Verse, Michael Penix Jr., and Jaden Daniels. And, of course, we dropped the New York Giants 7-round mock draft earlier today. And, of course, that's going to create some level of consternation, right? Some folks are going to feel like that this is entirely too high on Michael Penix Jr. There might be a handful of individuals who actually feel as strongly as we do with respect to Michael Penix Jr. And I just, before we move on, I just want to address it because we're going to continue to address it throughout this draft cycle. Why, Drew Hadley, do you have Penix ahead of Daniels?
Oh, well, for me, man, it's the arm talent. It's the type of throws that Penix can make. He makes throws that many quarterbacks can't make. He works from in the pocket. Jaden Daniels, he's improved, from the start of last season to this season. He's improved as a quarterback in the pocket. But Penix got the superior arm. He has the experience. He's battle tested also. Face adversity. Leader of men. You can see it. When he speaks and stuff like that. He's just. I think he has a total package, man. But the main thing for me is the arm talent right now. Jaden Daniels is improving his arm talent. He got better as a passer. But I like Penix over Daniels right now.
Adley said most of it. I would also say, and I don't know if he said this, is the amount of games that Penix has played.
Yeah.
The big time games that he's played in, he's won outside of obviously the national championship. Even when he was with, was it Indiana? Was it Indiana? It's Indiana. Yeah. He was pushing Ohio State to the limit, right? And if they had a better defense, they probably beat him, right? Before he got hurt. So, and then there's just when you watch the tape between the two, in terms of Daniels, there's a lot of running around. There's a lot of I'm just going to take off and run type stuff versus Penix, who's sitting in the pocket and willing to throw the football down the field. There's a little bit more. That's what I'm looking for. What's the word? There's a little bit more structure in Penix's game versus Daniels, where there's a little less structure, if you will, right? And in the league, you're going to have to play within structure. Otherwise, teams are going to, okay, you don't want to play this structure. Okay, well, we can turn this into sandlot football. But at the end of the day, that doesn't necessarily work out for the quarterback in a 17-game season, right? So, and I imagine Daniels will get there, right? But, I think Penix is a little bit more ready for me. But like Headley said, Daniels has improved every year he's played. When he first came in, I think they played, was it Florida State? It was the first game they played. I was like, this dude looked lost. Like he won't let the football go, right? But every year, every game he's played, he's improved. So I think it's one of those things, like I said about Anthony Richardson last year, the more games he plays, the better he's going to get. So what the ceiling is for that, I don't know.
I wonder what the narrative would be if Penix didn't get hurt, right? If he remained in the Big Ten and he continued to put up substantial numbers, right? I wonder what the narrative would be. You understand what I'm saying? And as it relates to playing within structure, I think it's an interesting point that you brought up because that's the huge knock on our top quarterback, Caleb Williams, is that he doesn't play within structure enough. You understand what I'm saying? That it's always a fire drill. So I don't think it's quite as pronounced because LSU, I think, just had a better supporting cast than USC, but certainly that's a concern. Now, obviously, the fact that Daniels, offers a very unique element with his legs and has taken significant steps in terms of being a passer, in particular pushing the football down the field. When we were doing summer scouting, my biggest concern wasn't necessarily the 9 route, wasn't the go ball per se, right? Which he's improved, and he threw it at a very high clip this past season. It was the whole shot. It was getting the ball up and down between the safety and corner and cover too, and I saw a little bit more of that. So that's part of the reason why we have them so close. Penix was far and away, our preferred quarterback going into this past season, but Jaden Daniels has closed the gap. I'm with you guys. I don't think he's necessarily eclipsed Michael Penix. Now, of course, Penix, the injury history, I think the last taste left in people's mouth, might cause, be a cause for some concern. They're both older prospects. You understand what I'm saying? They've been around for ages. It's kind of almost at this juncture, it's kind of pick your flavor to a certain degree with respect to these two. So interesting conversation that we will, I'm sure, continue to have, discuss with the audience and so on and so forth. I do want to address Daniel C's question here as far as Caleb Williams and Drake May not attending the combine.
And Jaden Daniels.
I shouldn't say not attending, but not throwing. Plus Jaden Daniels. What are your thoughts there?
I don't think it's necessary, to be honest with you. If you're one of the top players at your position and you decide you don't want to, unless it's something specific that we're looking to see from you, I don't need to see any guys throw the football because you're throwing the guys, that you don't throw to, you don't know them. Like it can only hurt you, right? In my opinion. Now, if you go out there and throw, I guess maybe could help you, but those guys can throw the football. There's no
it helps the fringe guys, I think.
Yes,
I think it helps the guys that are on that end of the first round, second round conversation. The Bo Nixes of the Michael Penix, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Even JJ McCarthy, just because we haven't seen him put the ball in the air this past season quite much at all. So I think it helps certain guys. But to your point, these 3 players, I don't know that it's going to hurt them at all, to be perfectly frank. I know there are going to be certain teams, organizations, coaches that just like to see guys compete, but they're going to throw at their pro days, right? They're going to throw at private workouts where they can kind of control the environment. As you mentioned, Drew, they'll have receivers that they're familiar with. They'll have actual script in terms of the types of throws. Hell, that's what got Trey Lance drafted 3rd overall, right? Yep. He went and did his, his thing with, I believe, Quincy Avery. At the time, I heard nothing from Quincy Avery as of late. I don't know if the Trey Lance thing, the Johnny Manziel thing, hurt him.
Trey Lance had a whole season to prepare for that, bro. Because he played his season.
You're right about that.
He missed the whole season.
You're right about that.
Prepare for it. You know what I mean? So
you're right about that. I think it can help you, but I don't know that it's necessarily going to hurt you if you don't throw.
All right? It's secure the back season, man. It's a lot of money at stake, and you don't want to do nothing. You're already a top 3 pick. All 3 of these quarterbacks, they saying they're going to be in the top 5, possibly 1, 2, 3 in the NFL draft. Like, why risk it? Why risk it? We have a whole season of tape to go back and look at games, actual games, throwing the football. So you got to secure the bag, and that's what these quarterbacks are doing. And at a combine, anyways, man, I think the interviewing part is probably the biggest part. Talking to the teams, getting on the board, showing them your knowledge, and the medicals also. Definitely, man. Those are the most important parts of the combine for these guys, man. For everybody, but like you said, those fringe guys. Now you got to go out there and show it. You got to show what you could do, like a Michael Penix, like you said, Bo Nix, even JJ McCarthy. You got to throw the football because you want to move up the board. These guys already are at the top of the board.
Correct. DK, it's a great point. I think Jaden Daniels deserves credit for it, right? Overcoming Brian Kelly. We've always had our concerns. I won't speak for everybody. I've always had my concerns about Brian Kelly and some of the decision makings, his offense at times. It looked like Jaden Daniels was able to kind of unlock it and overcome, because of that athletic ability, overcome a bad play call or a poorly executed play. So he definitely deserves some credit for that. I'd be interested to see him on the board. Right? Because there are some I won't say gimmicky, but very, very collegiate style type, decisions that are being made, not necessarily the full field reads, but I did see him scan more this past season. As I said, and I think everybody's mentioned it on the panel, that he really took a step this year. It was impressive. All right. Okay, so we stopped at 13 with Daniels. He's followed up by Dallas Turner. The Fautanu Fuaga conversation. I think Drew and I are in favor of Fautanu. Headley, I believe you have Fuaga. If this was your personal rankings, Headley, where exactly would Fuaga rank here in this top 16?
Probably 15.
Okay.
Just ahead of Fautanu.
I hear you.
I just like I said it before, man. I just love the physicality, the power. I know that hand, that outside hand needs work against speed rushers. I think that's an easy fix. I think he can improve that. And like I said, for both of these guys, there's concerns of both of them at tackle right now. Arm length for Fautanu, Fuaga, his technique. But if both of these guys have to be pushed inside because of those concerns, that's why I have Fuaga over Fautanu as the better interior offensive lineman out of the two of these guys.
Okay. All right. Understand your decision point there as far as ranking those two players. It's interesting insight there, because I'm sure I'm not certain about Fuaga, but I am sure that there are teams who have Fautanu as an interior offensive lineman on their board. Right.
Yeah.
I actually think, and we all agree that he should have an opportunity to play tackle. He moves so well. He's demonstrated how effective he is at tackle. But certainly, there are going to be some organizations that view him as an interior offensive lineman. And with respect to Fuaga, it might just be because he doesn't get the technical aspect of it down. Right. If that's the case, then, as you mentioned, his functional strength is superior to two Fautanu's at this juncture, for sure. All right. 17, we have Terrion Arnold, followed by Quinion Mitchell, Jackson Powers Johnson, Kool-Aid McKinstry rounds out the top 20. The last time coming right out of the Senior Bowl, we updated our board, and Darius Robinson was a big time climber. He ranks 21st, and I know there's some people who still aren't hip to it, but all signs point to him going in the first round, right? Top 25-ish, top 26 pick in the first round of this draft. That versatility is something that you've mentioned before, Drew. What is it about the versatility that you like so much?
Man can play inside, outside, man. You play the 3 technique. You know what I'm saying? You can bring him to the outside on the edge. That's probably where he should be living, right? But you can play games with him. He helps your defense in terms of, if you want to move, play. You want to play the moving piece game, or the Legos game that we call it. At the team that he played for, Missouri, them boys ran a lot of games up front, so you can run linebackers behind them, shoot guys in the A gap. Like he helps you to improve your defense immediately in any style of defense that you want to play, right? High motor, good hands, speed to power. Like he's to me, he's the entire package, man.
Yeah, and he's also the first guy I've ever heard say, "Yeah, I prefer to play the 4-eye." Like we were talking about. I'm telling you, man, we were talking about that last year. And
Latu said that too, by the way.
Oh, see, there you go. Yeah, they know.
Yeah.
They know what the coaches want to hear. They know.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
They've been coached up clearly. Because we talked about that a lot in terms of Will Anderson. That Alabama just didn't cut him loose, despite the fact that he had all that success. They just didn't cut him loose, right? It's because he was playing 4-eye, because of the responsibilities associated with that particular alignment. And to have a guy with that kind of twitch and physical ability, the size, and strength, to just basically say, "Listen, man, I'm here to do the dirty work, man. You know what I mean? Whatever it takes, And I want to play 4-eye because it requires me to be physical. I like playing that physical brand of football. So I'm sure he's going to endear himself to a lot of NFL front offices. Nate Wiggins, Cooper DeJean, Chop Robinson. I think we're certainly higher on Chop Robinson than the consensus, at least PFF. Helly, your thoughts on Chop Robinson? He was a guy, I know, I distinctly recall weren't the biggest fan of him going in terms of summer scouting, but in season he started to really climb the board for you.
Yeah, man. Just when you talk about pass rushing skills, just getting after the quarterback from the edge, from the interior, the burst, the twitchiness, he got all of that, man. It's just the size with him right now. Why, maybe a guy Darius Robinson goes ahead of him. What Darius Robinson could do in the run game, like we mentioned earlier. Chalk Robinson is just a ball of fire off the edge, sort of like Will McDonald last season. That got drafted in the first round, but I even have a higher grade on Chalk Robinson than Will McDonald from last season. So, man, it's just how they use them interior against guards on the outside, the hand work. He just improved. He improved a lot. Even in the run game, I thought he improved from the season before to this game. Getting after it in the run game, tenacity, 110% motor all the time. So, a team that wants to get after a quarterback, this is a passing league, and we could say, okay, yeah, we like guys to guard the run and everything, but when it comes down to it, it's all about getting after the quarterback,
third and 8,
protecting the quarterback,
third and 8. We got to get off the field.
Yeah, those are the guys that get the money. The corners, the receivers, the quarterbacks, the edge rushers, and the tackles. Those are the guys that get the money for a reason. So, you're gonna want a guy like Chalk Robinson on your football team to get after the quarterback in those 3rd and 8 situations, like you said.
All right. After Chalk Robinson at 24. Oh, are you getting in there too? You want to get in there too?
No. I was just gonna say I don't think Sweat's going any higher than 26. I think that's his cap.
Why are you doing that?
Just cap the man.
I'm just saying. I'm just being honest.
Why you do that, bro? Let's see, Prassi. I think this may have been with respect to our last update because, again, as I mentioned, I think the top 43 there was no movement, so he is squarely in the first round based on our draft board
Capped
here.
out.
JC Latham at 25, Devondre Sweat at 26. Like it almost seems like you have something against the interior defenders of Texas, right? You don't want to give Byron Murphy love because he played next to Sweat. And then you're like, right. Yo, Sweat can't go no higher than this, man. He tapped out, bro.
Look at the players in front of him. Look at the players in front of him.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we might have Sweat higher than anybody.
I think we do. I think we do
right now. So
I think we do. I before we move on, I wanna point out that I'm a big proponent of, and you see it, right? That the NFL is cyclical in nature. You understand what I'm saying? And I think, especially what you see with the Lions in particular, and even Kansas City to a degree, right? Where they'll put a lead blocker in there, they'll run more, gap power schemes, whams, they're pulling the guard. Teams aren't prepared to handle it. They got all of these undersized, twitchy pass rushers in the interior of the defensive line. They got linebackers who are safeties. Their body types are more of that of a safety. And they just can't handle a punishing running style. And I think Devondre Sweat is the type of player that gives you enough in terms of the pass rush that allows you to invest in him relatively early. I anticipate a second round selection, but I think he has that type of ability to be, and of course we always talk about the middle of your defense has to be solid, right? That's how you build your defense, right through the middle. The decoration, the fluff in terms of the edge rushers obviously is great, but if you can be stout up the middle, you're going to be competitive week in and week out. And Devondre Sweat really is a linchpin to that. So certainly we might be higher, but I think it's well deserved in my opinion.
I think the things that hurt Devondre Sweat is the weight and the motor. If he gets his weight under control, play at that 340 range, and that motor, and he gets after it for 4 quarters. He's a beast, man. He's unblockable. He can't be stopped. We already talked about what he does in the run game, but very underrated as a pass in the pass game as well because of those hands. That swim move, a big man shouldn't be making swim moves as easily as Devondre Sweat does. So just got to get that weight under control, get that motor up, and he's going to be dominant in the league. If he doesn't get those things under control, he could be one of those guys that come and go. So it's all up to him at this point right now for Devondre Sweat.
You think there's a pretty wide spectrum of outcomes for him?
I do. It's on him. We see guys come in the league, eat themselves out of the league, ballers at that, and so it's all up to him. So I can see him as a boomer bust prospect.
State.
Which guy are we talking about?
He's referring to Calvin Benjamin.
Oh yeah, State.
Eddie Lacy's of the world.
Eddie Lacy's. Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, Jay. And speaking with him at the Senior Bowl, he seemed to be acutely aware of the concern. And he said, "Listen, I feel comfortable playing at 360, but if the team wants me at 340, 335, that's where I'll be." So I'll take him at his word. I think, to your point, though, Hadley, the interview process, what he weighs in at the combine is going to be indicative of what you're saying, because I'm sure he's getting feedback from organizations already in terms of what they think he should be playing at. And if he acquiesces to that, to your point, I think, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. We're talking, and I'm going to say the name loosely, but this is kind of what we would hope that T'Vondre Sweat is in that realm. When he's all tapped out, is a Dexter Lawrence. That's what you're looking for, right? One of those big, unique athletes that can make plays and really change the face of your defense. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't expect him to blur a 40 like your boy. What's his name?
Jordan Davis. What's his name? Yeah.
But I think T'Vondre Sweat's a better prospect than Jordan Davis. I think Jordan Davis was just a better athlete, bro. I think he was just a better athlete in my mind. So
yeah, Sweat hands is way better. His technique. The thing about Jordan Davis coming out, like you said, he was an athlete, but when he came off the line, he came a little too high. He didn't have that technical stuff that T'Vondre Sweat has, man, with the hands. So yeah, he was just more of an athlete, so big, so fast, so strong. But yeah, technically, T'Vondre Sweat is higher than Jordan Davis coming up.
Amarius Mims at 27, Graham Barton at 28, and of course we view Graham Barton as an interior offensive lineman. I think most teams will. Another player that we're going to be substantially higher on than the consensus, Brandon Dorlus. Love Dorlus. Not coming off of that one. Love Dorlus. And you talk about versatility, Drew, as far as Darius Robertson is concerned. Dorlus possesses that as well. Weighed in a lot lower than we had anticipated at the Senior Bowl, but he indicated that he was going through a cut. So I expect him to have bulked back up. I think he'll be closer to 280 at the combine. So we'll keep an eye on that. Braylon Trice, Brian Thomas Jr., and Kingsley Suamatea. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly. I've heard it a couple of different ways. So I'm looking for the appropriate pronunciation. But he's a tackle that I'm high on, man. Again, another player that I think collectively CPGM we're higher on than most. But I'm impressed. I'm impressed what I saw on tape. And then, of course, he kind of solidified it in terms of a very even performance at the Senior Bowl. Whereas Fuaga might have had, the one play that jumps out at you when he throws Latu down, or whatever the case may be. I just thought Kingsley was just more consistent throughout the week. Maybe not quite as consistent at the right tackle, but certainly at left tackle. I thought he had an excellent week in the Senior Bowl. All right. Yeah, Trice is going to find a nice home. I actually, the more and more I think about it in terms of, what certain teams are doing defensively, what they're looking for, I think he could play with his hand in the ground. I think he could be a stand-up edge in the 3-4. You don't necessarily want him dropping in coverage, but I think he can manage it. I think he can manage it, be just effective enough in order to play in a scheme like that. I can see the Bucks, Drew. I can see them going right back to the well. Yeah, with Yaya Diaby, run it. You know what I'm saying? I can see it. I can absolutely see it.
Yeah. The thing with Trice, man, he's a power edge. I loved how they used him games up front, coming on the inside on those stunts. It's just him in space is not good. Right. Especially like if you want him standing up forward, and you're doing a zone read and the quarterback comes out, he's going to have a hard time containing that edge. And that's what's going to hurt him. The athletic testing, all those shuttle times, all those little numbers, those sparky numbers, that's what's going to bring him down the board. And, he's could potentially be a second-round pick because of that. But physically, how he gets such a quarterback with speed and power, all of that, man, it's nasty with Braylon Trice, man. I like him as a prospect. He just got to be in the right fit for me at the next level.
I hear you. And you bring up a good point, though, Heather, because, the better offensive minds are going to recognize that. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to put him in a bind. They're going to put him in a bind on the edge. Drew, you've mentioned it before. You just want his head to be on a swivel, understand what's going on around you. You understand what I'm saying? But a little bit of the bull in a China shop type of deal with Braylon Trice. I just think because of that ability to convert speed to power in this passing league, he's still going to be coveted. But to your point, Hadley, the testing could be what mitigates how high he can climb in the draft. All right. Mr. Ciprasky, I love this right here. Dorlus, could he be Michael Bennett?
Man. Inside, outside.
More athletic, right?
Yeah.
More athletic Michael Bennett, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Bigger Michael Bennett, too.
Bigger Michael Bennett, yep.
Bigger Michael Bennett, too. I think if you get – I think he certainly has that type of versatility. Michael Bennett was greasy though, man. He
was.
was exceptionally greasy. So
Was.
hopefully Dorless can be that player. I think just in terms of just pure talent, I think he's a more talented player than Michael Bennett. But in the league, Michael Bennett developed and he became a different type of player. So that's a great comp. I like that one a lot. Yeah, Drew, definitely. And he's got the athleticism to get out in space too. And whether it be a power or zone scheme, I think he could flourish. Cam Kitchens at 33, Tyler Nubin at 34, Edgerrin Cooper at 35, Kamari Lassiter at 36. I think that's the corner we've discussed. Might be on the fringe there in terms of the first round if there's a run. Byron Murphy, perhaps a little lower on Byron Murphy than the consensus here. Why is that, Drew?
I need more production, right? He's playing next to a guy who was just taking up space and doing his own thing.
He's an defensive lineman. What you want him to do?
Listen, I'm just telling you, bro. You asking me the question, I'm answering the question. You know what I'm saying, right? Maybe I watched the right tape. I mean, there's flashes that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? He's a prototypical 3 technique. I love his hands, but again, maybe I need to watch a little bit more tape, man. I don't know. Sometimes there's always a guy or two that's always at the top of the people's boards, and everybody likes talking about him. And that's the guy who's going to be a first-round pick. And I'm really thinking, like, really, that's what we're doing? And maybe I ain't watching the right tape. Somebody tell me what tape I need to watch.
Yeah, I think Murphy's going to be a solid pro because he does it in the run and the pass game. And what surprised me, he's over 300 pounds. You know, some people might look at him as
one of those small next to Sweat. That's all.
Yeah,
he looks small next to Sweat.
But he's over 300 pounds. Strong lower body to hold up in the run game, and he got that jump. He got that burst. When you watch the tape, he's the guy that flashes. You know, Sweat is holding everybody up, but Murphy's flashing as a pass rusher on the interior. You know, it was just DJ. DJ put him up there at like number 12, the 12th pick.
Sure.
That's where kind of like, nah, he's not, you know, I like Murphy, but he's not the 12th pick. Good, in my opinion. I think he's more of a end of the first round guy, man. I think he should get in the first round.
All right. Keon Coleman at 38. Xavier Legette at 39. Enos Rakestraw, I think this might be an adjustment for me. I think I'm taking Rakestraw over Lassiter.
Hey. I like Rakestraw too.
I don't know what the congregation has to say about
it. I'm okay with it.
That next update, we're gonna have to tweak that. We're gonna have to tweak it. I don't think Lassiter should fall too much, but I definitely like Rakestraw a little more than Kamari Lassiter. Troy Franklin at 41, Leonard Taylor at 42, Tyler Guyton at 43. Again, this is a player we're probably a little lower on than the consensus, but as you guys have mentioned, there's some technique issues. I think the ceiling is very high for Tyler Guyton, like what I saw from him at the Senior Bowl. But there's some things that he definitely needs to clean up with respect to the other tackles in the class. And then Zach Frazier. Zach Frazier actually reflects the biggest move, or not necessarily the biggest move, but the first move up the board in this particular update. And Headley, I wanted to turn this one over to you. You were adamant about the fact that we were too low on Zach Frazier, and I agree with you. But tell the audience why.
Man, he has a high IQ, a lot of experience. He's a plug-and-play guy. He's not the quickest. He got a wrestling background. 4-time state champ. D-Kick gonna let you know that. And you know, he's not the quickest guy, but just the way he uses his angles and the leverage that he plays with, and he's nasty, man. He's one of those guys that you want those nasty guys on the interior. And he, you know, I'm seeing first round buzz for him right now. You know, I never looked at him as a first round guy. But you know, early second round, I think that's a sweet spot right there for Zach Frazier and he had the versatility. I think he could play in any scheme, whether it's zone or gap scheme. It's just plug and play all day. And he just got a lot of things that you like about him, man. He's going to be a locker room guy. He's going to be a team player. He has a lot. He has a lot, man. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I actually think, Drew, I'm not sure what type of mock draft we were doing. I don't think it was a 17. It was all 32. May have been a couple of rounds. I believe you took Zach Frazier in the first round to the Bucks. You know, after telling us that your interior of your offensive line for the last year is just fine, I believe you actually took Zach Frazier in the first round. Am I misremembering?
I think you might be right, and I took him because we need a center. We need a starting center. Let me say it that way. Ryan Jensen's out the door, and and Hainsey was, shaky.
Cody Mock's playing guard. He's playing guard. He's not playing center.
I leave him at guard. We don't need to make that change, bro. We go. We see what happened when we make changes, right? You had Luke Gadecki in there at guard, and he's outstanding as a right tackle.
Right tackle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do the right thing. So yeah, I'm good with Frazier there, man. Because when you talk about the wrestling background, that just brings you to your boy was it Baltimore, Linderbaum, right? So it just kind of brings me there, and so I'm thinking, okay, this could be the guy, right? So yeah, I'm good with Zach Frazier. End of the first round, he probably going to go at the top of the second somewhere, right?
Linderbaum was bottom of the first round pick. I think he was a 32nd pick. I think it was a 32nd pick.
I think it was
that was Lamar. Oh yeah, Lamar was 32nd, right?
Yeah, 25th. I think that was the pick that they got from Arizona, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Right.
In that Hollywood Brown trade that ultimately didn't materialize into anything. That was a bad trade that night. Thought it was a bad trade that night, but it definitely didn't help him. So Kyler Murray wanted this guy, man. It's his college teammate. So at any rate, I like the there is a parallel there between Linderbaum and Frazier as far as that wrestling background for sure. Cooper Beebe at 45, Adnan Mitchell 46, Michael Hall Jr. and Chris Jenkins 47, 48 respectively. I think we just went with the pass rush upside here. I personally, I'm more of a Chris Jenkins guy, but that's just me. It's just me. So this is a consensus among the three of us here. Christian Haynes at 49, Roman Wilson rounds things out as the 50th prospect on our draft board. And as you can see here, this is Isaac and Jalen Polk at 51 and 52, respectively. Jalen Polk is actually, we moved him up, I think, in our last mock draft, 32-team mock draft, the 4-rounder last week. Drew, you took him in the first round. What was it? The 30th overall pick to the Ravens? Was that what it was?
I don't even remember. I think you might be right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm a big Jalen Polk fan. I acknowledge that Rome Odunze was the alpha in that receiver room. Jalen McMillan is very good too, but Jalen Polk was always the receiver that I liked the most, just in terms of being a football fan. That was my guy, right, among that trio. And he certainly has a bit of a buzz behind him right now. I think his name is certainly picking up steam. So I expect to hear him maybe before some of the other receivers that we pegged in that 32 to 40 range. I think he has a distinct shot to be picked ahead of some other guys that we had anticipated previously. All right. And also moving up, and I got to turn it over to Headley here, is Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, my God. Oh, good old lad right there.
Good old lad.
That's my guy, Ladd, man. Y'all be throwing a little hate Ladd way. But the tape is good. I was the same way too. I'm like, Ladd McConkey, you talking about the 84 from Georgia? But when I dug into the tape, I'm like, this guy's good, man, because he creates separation. We always say the name of the game and the next level is separating. Mm-hmm. And he does it with great route running. It's very deliberate, with route pace. That's something I'm a big fan of as a wide receiver. That's why I was so high on Josh Downs last season. It's just the route pace. You just never know what you're gonna do. He switched up his speeds and his routes. He gets open. He's gonna be a quarterback best friend, and he got sticky hands, man. There's a lot of guys in this draft class that they drop a lot of passes. Ladd McConkey, he's gonna barely drop passes. I think he got inside-outside versatility also. I think where he gets in trouble is press defense against those more stronger physical corners. I thought Terry and Arnold did a good job against him when they had that matchup. But, the right offensive coordinator going to get him in that bunch, going to get him in motion and get him free off the press. So, once, he does that, man, he's going to be open at the next level, man, and move the chains.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why, and of course, formations can help mitigate that. That's part of the reason why I see him as a slot almost predominantly, right? Not that he can't route cats up on the boundary, but when he's faced with length and the confidence to press and the ability to press, we even saw it in the Senior Bowl. That first day he was cutting cats up, and then there was a little bit of an adjustment, and guys got more physical, particularly when they were doing the one-on-ones in the red zone when there was less field to defend. So that's my concern in terms of me playing him on the boundary. I don't think and maybe I could be wrong, I don't think he's scaring anybody with his speed, right? It's the route pace. It's not to say that he's slow, but certainly it's deceptive. It's deceptive because he's setting you up. He's stacking defensive backs. He's not just a blur out there. So that's kind of where I throw a little cold water on Lab McConkey. But otherwise, very, very good receiver. JJ McCarthy, Jordan Morgan, Jonathan Brooks takes us through 56. I've talked about it previously. Jordan Morgan, in my estimation, has the feet for the most part. I think he has the feet and certainly the technique necessary by and large to play a tackle position. I just think his arms, the length of them is going to be a concern. It is kind of kept on rearing its ugly head in Mobile in particular. I wonder if it's still a byproduct of him trying to recover from his injury. I'm not sure exactly. I'm not certain. But he seems to me to be the guy that moves from tackle and would be better off playing in the interior of an offensive line. So we'll keep an eye on Jordan Morgan as well. I want to get to, because I don't want to belabor the point too much here, I want to get to the rest of the players here that moved up. So I won't go one by one. I won't go by one by one here.
What? I already see it. I already see. My man ain't even in the top 60, bro. My man is not even in the top 60.
See, you talking about Ricky?
How is Ricky
I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. I'm going to mute you.
How is Patrick?
I'm going to mute you. Oh, you don't mute you. You got the power. Juice got the juice right now.
I got to mute him, bro. And I'll explain to the audience why I'm muting this guy. Because he is laid in wait to whine and complain about where Ricky Pearsall is ranked. He had every opportunity to tell me, hey, we need to move this guy up and why, right? He had every opportunity.
Bro, I explained it last time.
And you need to explain it again.
Bro.
Because he's already been moved up previously.
Bro,
now you say he needs to be top 60. He needs to be top 60
player, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, well, you should have said something.
You know who ain't a top 60 player? Patrick Paul's not a top 60 player.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Enough.
I'm with you on that. I think, that's one that I overlooked as well. I think we can move Patrick Paul down.
Okay.
I think Pooney should be ahead of Patrick Paul. And as far as Ricky Pearsall, he's kind of like Ladd, bro. He runs good route. I think he has a little more juice than Ladd. He's just in that Florida system. So,
Florida system, bro.
He's just a gator at the end of the
day.
day.
He's a gator at the end of the day. No, but he got a lot of talent, man. You see him as a more slot guy, or?
I think he'd play outside, but I would use him more as a slot. I think that's where he's gonna make his living.
All right. You can update it, man.
Mrs. C. Prasky has a question for the congregation. Your thoughts?
Gotta watch him.
Yeah, I gotta watch him.
Yeah,
right.
We're in the dark. Down. We're in the dark, Mrs. C. Prasky. Yeah. We will put a pin in that one and get back to you.
Put him on the docket.
All right. Another name here that moved up a little bit, and is probably higher on most boards, consensus boards out there, is Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy. Of course, the big concern there is the drops, right? I think he has the goods. Otherwise, the speed, the ability in the open field. He even tracks the football pretty well, right? He's made some tough catches, but the routine stuff, he just far too often fighting the football. So that's why his value is a little depressed here on our board. The next big move comes from D. Kit's guy, Gabriel Murphy. All right, he was outside of our top 100. We had to put an end to that. He now is just outside the top 75. And when it's all said and done, I imagine he'll be a bit higher on this list as well. So Gabriel Murphy, a big mover here. Heather, what do you like about Murphy?
The hands. He's in that Latu school, bro. He's like both of those guys. Because I watched Murphy the season before, and I'm like, okay, he's decent. Him and his brother, they're good. But then this year, he just got better. He got better, man. Those hands, the swim move, the chop, the rip, just the total package, man. Being able to disengage from the offensive lineman, has that burst to get after the quarterback as well. They use him in a lot of different ways, alignments along the defensive line. So he got the versatility to do a lot of different things for a football team. If you want to play multiple, if you want to play that Lego football, like we call it, man. So, Yeah, this is a guy that got to move up, man. We got him in the top 75, and he could even move up even higher after a strong performance at the combine.
All right, Drew. There's your guy at 78. So when I ask you again, I'm gonna ask you again.
Bro, just needs to be in the top
In the
60,
coming
bro.
weeks. In the coming weeks, don't go silent. Don't go silent on me
Top
again.
60, bro. That's it. That's all you
right.
need to know, bro. Top 60, bro. I'm
All
good
right.
with
We have quite a few more guys moving into the top 100 off the strength of the Senior Bowl and some additional film study. Jarvis Brownlee Jr. is one of them here at 88, cornerback from Louisville. Had a really strong week at the Senior Bowl. And then you turn on the tape and you see a lot of exactly what you saw at the Senior Bowl as well. You got Andrew Phillips here, Drew. Also breaking into our top 100. What'd you like about Phillips?
The boy physical, man. Stays with the receiver, attacks the football in the air. Fight all the way down the field with you. I know there's some issues in terms of his tackling. I just think that has more to do with him trying to come up and take somebody. He's trying to do the hit stick, bro. They still got that in Madden. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think they took
think
that
so?
out. I think
okay.
it didn't last that long. Did it last that long?
The hit stick?
I might be wrong. I remember on that Ray Lewis cover. I think that's when the hit stick
that was
brought in.
04, 05?
They probably still got it, man. I haven't played Madden in so long.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Andrew Phillips, he's sticky, man. And I like my physical corners. Pause. I don't even know if I need to say pause. We're gonna pause that.
Pause it anyway.
Pause it anyway.
You're not certain. Pause it up.
Pause it up. But yeah, I like him there. I'm glad he's in the top 100. I think he deserves to be in there. I'm interested to see what he runs at the combine and what them numbers look like.
What do you think about Brownlee, Headley? Boundary or the slot?
I like him in the slot. I love him in the slot, man.
Like him in the slot?
Very feisty. Yeah. I think he could do both. He had the versatility to do both. He could do press, off man also. I just love his hip fluidity, sticky coverage in the slot. I think the size is what's going to relegate him to the slot. He's not a big guy. I think he's like 180, maybe sub 180. So
yeah,
I think he can get bullied by those physical outside receivers at the next level.
You got Dadrian Taylor Demerson also climbing into the top 100. And again, this is another player that I think when it's all said and done will probably be ranked higher. Heather, you're kind of going back and forth in terms of him and Jaden Hicks as the third ranked receiver in the class. Drew, I believe you said it
safety
last week. Safety in the
Mm-hmm.
class. Drew, I think you mentioned that he is safety 3 for you at this juncture. Yeah. So really impressive stuff. He kind of helped himself in the offseason games as well, the showcases. We also have 2 more here in the top 100. Jalen Wright, running back from Tennessee, obviously very explosive player. We got him right here juxtaposed with Blake Corum. And then Renardo Green, Headley, out of FSU, the corner, had some really good tape against some of the upper echelon receivers, namely Malik Neighbors. And then he goes to the Shrine game and performs really well. So he rounds out our top 100. Quite a few corners here in the top 100. Again, if you're a team that's looking for cornerback help, this is a good draft for it for sure. All right, Mark Sauer, shut down Ladd. Yeah, he's the one who gave Ladd fits when they got in that press alignment and really started challenging the receivers. It was Phillips who gave Ladd some business there for sure. Yeah, Demerson is climbing. It's not going to stop at 95. He'll be certainly higher than that when it's all
combine done. He probably going to be in safety 3 for most people when it after the combine.
Drew, I actually, and I have to watch both of them again. I actually like Jones more than Green. Believe it or not, I like Jones a little bit more than Green.
Yeah,
what are you saying, Heather? Go ahead.
Nah, it's just what Green does in man coverage on the outside.
Sure. On the boundary, big boy stuff out there.
Even though I think Jones he looks like he's bigger than Green.
Bigger.
I gotta check the measurements, but
I think he is bigger.
But Green plays with some intensity, physicalness, man. He's just very scrappy on the outside, man. He fights all the way through the catch point. And you know what he did against Thrash and Neighbors. We see that all over Twitter, what he did against Neighbors. but he did the same thing against Jamari Thrash, and I think those are two of the top 5 route runners in this class. So very good tape for Renardo Green. I think that's why he's higher than Jones. But I'm gonna go back to the film on Jones too. I remember Jones. He did well in man coverage. Also, play the slot, stick it, click and close ability to come up and hit also for Jerry and Jones. But what Green did against top echelon wide receivers is probably why he's a little bit ahead of Jerry and Jones for me.
I get it, and I think part of it for me is the fact that Jones is dealing with that two-way go. He's dealing with that two-way go, snap in and snap out, right? And that's probably why I gave him a little bit of the edge there. But I certainly understand why folks would have Green rated higher than Jones as well. All right, that rounds out our top 100. But of course, this is a top 200, so we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. We gotta scroll down a little bit for the next couple of climbers here. But as I scroll down, you can see the names here in that 100 to 120 range, and I'm going to stop at 120. Javon Solomon is another riser here on our top 200 board. He was actually at the Senior Bowl. Impressive edge player. Hadley, what do you like about Solomon?
He brings some of the same characteristics and traits like a Chot Robinson, where they're not the biggest guys on the edge, but the tenacity, how they bend the edge, how they get after the quarterback. Just a pass rushing skill set, man. He got it all. Watching his tape, man, it was impressive to me, man. I think he led the nation in sacks, didn't he? I think he had like 15 and a half sacks. So that productivity, man, that's kind of something you kind of look for these pass rushers, man. Can you get after the quarterback? Can you finish? How many sacks did you put up, man? So
can you finish?
I think
right.
And he finishes. So at the next level, he might not be a guy that plays every snap, but like you said, those 3rd and 8s, you need somebody to get after the quarterback. You need somebody to bend the edge, man. I think Javon Solomon is your guy.
You need that middle relief, bro. You gotta get you to the end of the game, man. You need that middle relief. So I like Solomon. I like the move up here for Solomon. Ben Sinnott is actually the next player that had a pretty substantial jump here in our rankings. He comes in at 126. Drew, what do you like about the tight end from Kansas State?
That boy, I think he's deceptive in terms of his ability to move, right, and be athletic and catch the football, get out on his routes, create a little separation, and I think he's serviceable in the blocking game because I think they used him more to do that. It was at Kansas State. I always get Kansas State mixed up. At Kansas State, and at the Senior Bowl, I thought he kind of showcased his ability, whether it be blocking, whether it be catching the football. And he was one of the guys I was kind of keen on to see. Okay, what does it look like up close and personal in terms of his blocking game? And I thought he was solid, man. These boys say tight end 3. Well, let me think about it for a minute.
He appears to be tight end 3 on our board.
I think Theo got to be higher than him, right? Theo
or maybe
Johnson?
Theo. Yes. You're right. You're right. Theo was at 109. Theo was at 109.
And what separates Theo is him in the run game, run blocking. I think Sinnott has some work to do as a run blocker. I think he's just high, technique. Even as a route runner, Sinnott comes off a little high. Yeah, so he just got to get that better leverage as a run in the run game and the pass game. So, but Theo Johnson is what he did at the Senior Bowl. Like, he really impressed me as a pass catcher, separating. Yeah. He's physical at the top of his routes. Got really good hands because on tape, he shows his run blocking. At the Senior Bowl, he showed what he could do in the passing game.
Brennan Jackson. Either of you familiar with Brennan Jackson's game? I've seen him. I haven't gotten into the tape.
Washington State. Yeah, I got to get into the tape.
Yeah, familiar with the player based on a couple of broadcasts in Pac-12 after.
Yeah, I've seen him live a couple of times, but I haven't
watched him. Yeah. Focused evaluation. So that's another name. We'll put a pin in there, Juke. Appreciate it. All right. We're going to go to another tight end here. Coming in at 139. It's Dalen Holker from Colorado State. Man got the hands, man. He's got the grippers out there.
Yeah, man. Like pass catching, behind maybe, the top Bowers and Jatavian Sanders.
Yeah.
This guy, he's pretty much a receiver. He's another guy that's not the best blocker. He just doesn't have it as a blocker, but you line him up out there, man, in the slot and let him run routes. He got sneaky athleticism, after the catch ability. You see the catches. He made the hard catches look easy. He could jump, high point the ball, snag it with one hand. So, he really showcases that game against Colorado. But that Boise State game also, was really impressive for Dallin Holker.
Everybody had a career day versus Colorado.
Man.
Oh yeah, remember that game?
Listen,
that game was crazy.
that was an exciting game, though, man. That was an exciting game. It was one of the most watched games, I guess, in college football history, which is crazy because it was like a 10:00 kickoff, 10 Eastern.
Wild, bro.
It was wild, bro.
It was Colorado versus Colorado State. It was just Colorado, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Stayed up and watched it, and I'm glad Colorado State came to play because it was an entertaining game for sure. Yeah, the Colorado State was out there headhunting, boy. I'm telling you. Yeah. Muhammad Kamara got off. That safety got him right. Yeah. That was a good one. That was a good one. All right. Let's slide on down here to 149, and we have Hadley's guy, Christian Boyd, coming in out of northern Iowa. A combine snub here at Hadley and Christian Boyd. A combine snub. What do you like about Boyd?
Yeah, I don't get it, man. He showcased himself in the East-West Shrine game. That's what I really became aware of him. What he did down there, very physical. In the run game, man, he has a strong base, strong anchor, can hold up there. But the hands, man, like I'm always come back to the hands along the defensive line, man. If you're able to chop, swim, get after the quarterback, he does that, man. At 320, the movement ability at 320 holds up in the run game. Yeah, I think he's a 3rd round, 4th round guy. So I'm not sure why he didn't get that invite to the combine, man. Smaller school guy, but after what he did at the Shrine game, man, they should have gave him that invite.
I agree with you there, Hadley. Juke going. I won't see you going out on a limb, but it's certainly intriguing. Yeah. You think he might be on a limb? You think he might be on a limb?
Kobe Turner was my guy, bro. Like last season, man, just how he gets after the quarterback. To me, Kobe Turner is more of a 3-tech, get after the quarterback. I think Boyd is more, a 5, a 4-eye, something like that, more beneficial in the run game.
Or 1.
Or 1.
He might be there at the 1. Yeah.
Yeah, the 1 also, definitely.
Yeah, I think they're a little different players, but if you're talking just in terms of impact, if you're thinking in terms of impact, immediate impact, because generally speaking, it takes some time. Not unlike tight ends on the offensive side of the ball, right? Young players at the interior defensive line, they generally don't hit the ground running. They get beat up. They get beat up. I remember the story Warren Sapp said. He was crying. He said, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could play at this level. And it finally clicked. You know what I mean? Like halfway through his 2nd year or so. So yeah, if Boyd has that type of impact, because to your point, Hadley, you're thinking late day 2, early day 3. I don't know. I don't know if they're somebody trying to hide him. I'm not sure what's taking place because to your point, I thought his performance, the East-West Shrine game, certainly would vault him into the combine discussion. So we'll see how that all plays out. I also figure he'll be a riser on our board as well. He's going to continue to rise on our board. He's actually a new entrant here at 149. All right. I'm not going to go too far here. At 154, you have Carlton Johnson that moved into our top 200. Really, the first exposure was the Senior Bowl, right? And you like his size, you like his determination and his technique that he flashed there in Mobile. So he finds his way in another corner here ahead of your guy, Kalen King, right there, Mississippi Prasky, D-Kit. So keep your eye on Carlton Johnson. Keep your eye on him. I do believe he's a combine invite. I want to see how he runs. Because he can help himself for sure. All right. This is a guy that I made it an executive decision or a unilateral decision. I didn't really
the Miami guy?
No. I'm not like y'all, bro. I don't have an agendas. I don't have agendas. All right. Okay. The Florida State, Florida agenda stuff. I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't have an agenda. Dwight McGlothern, the corner out of Arkansas, really cleaned up his coverage from last year to this year. He had a lot of penalties last year. But the thing that you see consistently with him on the boundary, he's not a slot corner, he's a boundary corner, is the ball skills, right? True. Finding the football in flight, a lot of press bail off coverage, right? So he generally has his eyes on the quarterback, but he makes a ton of plays, whether it be INTs, pass breakups. He's forcing fumbles, always stripping the football. And I think he brings an energy to the defense that I haven't necessarily seen from a lot of the players in this particular class. So he's a guy that I really like in that 4th, 5th round range, day 3, after that run on the cornerbacks, because there's going to be a couple of those runs considering how deep the position is. Really like what I saw from Dwight McGlothern this year. He really put it all together in 2023. So another new entrant here into our top 200. Mark Sawyer. Let me see what Mark Sawyer has to say. I didn't see anybody beat Glaze at the Senior Bowl. Solid tip against Ohio State. He's intriguing.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's going to play, though. It seems like they want to move him inside.
Inside, yeah.
What were your thoughts on Glaze, Drew?
So you gotta forgive me because when we're putting those names in for the matchups, right? The two that kind of kept getting me a little was Glaze and Coleman. So if I remember correctly, Glaze was solid, but I think Coleman was the one where, like, if he got beat, it was usually first move done type of thing. I just couldn't remember who was who. And now that you said Glaze had a solid, I'm thinking it was Glaze that had the solid week versus Coleman.
That's how I remember it as well. I could be wrong too, because the memory is short, long term. Right. It's not faring that well these days. But I think that was my takeaway, was that Glaze really demonstrated that, you know, the chatter in terms of his upside was warranted. Brandon Coleman didn't have a great week. He didn't have a great week. I thought, you know, he didn't necessarily torpedo his stock, but he certainly didn't, you know, bolster it either.
Right.
All right. A couple more players here that were new additions to the top 200. We have Trey Taylor out of Air Force at 185. Of course, he's a decorated player as far as winning the Thorpe Award, and we've targeted him late in the 7-round mock drafts as of late. And then finally, Mississippi Prasley's guy here, man, Dylan Johnson. Had to get him into the top 200. Love the physicality. Only 1 year at Washington, right? He started his career at Mississippi State. So I think playing on the West Coast, not necessarily, you know, huge counting numbers at Mississippi State. But the one thing I did take away as far as what he did at Mississippi State was his involvement in the passing game. I think that's an underrated element of his game. He just, with Adunze, Polk, you know, McMillan, they had the pair of tight ends. I forget the tight end's name. He's actually a good player. I like him. The pass catching tight end at Washington. He just wasn't part of the passing game necessarily, but he was downhill, man. He brought a certain level of physicality to that team that provided a nice balance to that Washington Huskies offense. So worked him in there as well. All right. That's going to do it.
I see disrespect, man. I see disrespect at 198.
Here we go.
Jordan Travis, man. I thought he was moving him ahead of Tua, brother, man.
There you go. There you go, Mr. C. Prasky. Jake Westover. That was the name I was looking for.
That's we got to move Travis up over Tua, brother, man.
All right. I'll ask you later. I'll ask you later about that. I might not move him, though. Just out of spite. Just out of spite, man. I might not.
I thought you said you don't got no agendas, bro.
Nah, I got an agenda.
You got an agenda.
I got an agenda against the Seminoles. Y'all boys tried to paint me as a Seminole fan, so to hell with the Seminoles. All right, let's get into our 7-round mock drafts here. And first up is the Minnesota Vikings with the 11th overall pick. So we've gone 1 through 10 to this point. The New York Jets were our most recent 7-round mock draft. Next up, we have the Vikings, and the Vikings. We kind of moved away from the quarterback needy teams for a hot second, because there's a lot of them drafting in the top half of the first round. And here we are again, faced with question in terms of, do we stand put at 11 overall? Do we move up the draft board? What do we do about the quarterback position in this 7-round mock draft for the Minnesota Vikings?
I was talking about it off air. You know, Justin Jefferson talking about, hey, man, till y'all can get that quarterback situation figured out, let me know. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to do a long-term deal, which, you know, I think that's a smart move on his behalf. It's tough, because I think if this team has Kirk Cousins last year, there's a chance that they probably make the playoffs, right? But with him getting hurt, that defense is kind of on the rise. They're about a quarterback short. of making that next move. But I think this team is also 2 years away from kind of really competing and being more consistent in terms of competing. I'm all for going for the gusto and going to get your quarterback, right? But I think this is a team that could sit back and chill and get you a Penix, man. I really do. Move down and get you a Penix. But that's just me. This is also the team who wanted Justin Fields a couple years ago. They just couldn't. They just weren't willing to trade up far enough to get him. So maybe we trade for Justin Fields. I don't know. I mean, second round pick.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for the Bears to trade Justin Fields in that division.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do business with Minnesota. I don't think they're going to want to see Fields for the next 10 years over there.
No. I don't think they mind. Just they're gonna have to, put the Vikings over the coals, bro. Rake them over the coals.
Yeah, the deal's too sweet. Maybe they'll do it. But the quarterback situation, I think we got to fix it, man. I love the Michael Penix idea, Drew. I love the Michael Penix idea in Minnesota. I think we could trade down and potentially get Michael Penix. And then because we got to keep Justin Jefferson happy. I think he'll be a perfect fit in this Kevin O'Connell offense. You got Addison and Jefferson; those are two guys that can get down the field. And what we know for Penix, Hawkins in the middle of the field, and what we know for Penix, he could drive the football. So that would be my the guy that I would target for Minnesota for the quarterback position.
What do you think of the likelihood that Justin Jefferson gets moved?
That's assuming that they're saying we're gonna hit the reset button on this team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that to me that's foolish, bro. Unless somebody's giving you the booty, right? Pause.
Sure.
No. The answer is no. No, bro.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, I can't trade him, man. This guy's a top receiver in the league. You need a guy like that on your football team, man. You just got to get the quarterback situation right. He's young.
Yeah.
He got everything, man. So
yeah,
I wouldn't trade him.
And I don't think that they have to force the issue here, right? As much as you'd like to get a long-term deal done, the sooner the better, right? Justin Jefferson is already, I guess his camp is coming out of his camp that he's going to reset the market. And considering the way his career has started, I fully expect that. But you still have the franchise tag in your back pocket too. Like, you got to take this to the wire if you're going to move Justin Jefferson. And this isn't the season. This isn't the season. Until you are forced to use the franchise tag and you make a determination that particular figure isn't palatable, you can't get a long-term deal done, then you engage in a trade. But until that time, we're not even having that discussion. We want to make sure that Justin Jefferson's in the fold when we bring in this new quarterback. So, all right. What I've gathered is that there's a potential of moving up, but also pivoting to our guy, Michael Penix, is certainly within the cards as well. And there may be a scenario where we could trade down potentially and still acquire Michael Penix. Yeah. So let's start it off. Let's start off the draft, and we're gonna slow it down. Because if let's say a guy like Caleb Williams falls to 2, do you pick up the phone? Do you pick up the phone?
Say it again. What?
Caleb Williams slides to number 2. Do you pick up the phone?
Yes.
All right.
That's 3 first-round picks. That's a big move up.
Ooh.
There it is.
All right. Let's see what it would take. Oh, that trade's not getting accepted.
Nope.
Ooh, gotta get up
we'd have to give them Justin Jefferson.
Right.
Yeah. And they don't got a 2026 pick, so you have to give your 2026 first also for that.
We straight, bro. Let it ride. Bro.
Let it ride. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's resume the draft. Fully expecting Caleb to go here. There he is. Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors. Okay.
All right, so do we want to go Jaden Daniels right here? How you feel about that, Adley?
Man, we just talked about it earlier. We like Michael Penix over Jaden Daniels. So why are we going to give him all that draft capital? It's a team that needs some help.
The flash, the spaz,
keep the Vikings fans happy.
I also think it's a good landing spot. I think the Vikings with Kevin O'Connell is a good landing spot for most quarterbacks. Even months ago, I kind of linked Bo Nix to him, not in the first round necessarily, but I thought Bo Nix that would probably be one of the better landing spots for him. I think any of those quarterbacks could potentially have success, including J.J. McCarthy could have success in Minnesota, assuming they got the interior of the offensive line situated. Kevin O'Connell's offense is quarterback friendly. It's quarterback friendly. Plus the weapons are in place. You understand what I'm saying? So if you wanna get sexy, we could go Jaden Daniels here. If we want to continue to play it, by the book, by the CPGM book, we hold firm and we wait for Penix.
Let's play by the book, bro.
Yeah, I'm
Play
gonna
by
do
the
that.
book. All right, let's do it. Brock Bowers, Cooper DeJean. This one has started relatively interesting. I don't hate Bowers to the Chargers. I just don't know if I can do it at 5. This team
5,
needs more draft capital there. D Kit, you got Cooper DeJean. There you go. There you have it. Let's see, Minnesota.
J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, maybe.
Fans gonna be upset.
Let's see here.
Get in front of Atlanta, man. That's what they need to do.
Saying they can't.
They seem keen on moving down.
Who, Atlanta?
Yeah.
Maybe they probably already got Justin Fields. That's why.
Right.
Already got him in tow.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you wanna go with the flash of Jaden Daniels? This is the last time I'm gonna ask the question. The flash of Jaden Daniels on that turf, that fast track, with his weapons already in place, or do you want to go to the laser? You want to pivot to the laser and Michael Penix?
What you saying, Drew?
We gotta give up 4th, 5th. What do we gotta give up?
We could try giving up the third. Gets it done. The third gets it done. Mm-hmm. And that's next year's third, by the way.
It's next year's third.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what Justin Jefferson. That's an LSU guy, right?
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels is an LSU guy.
There's a connection.
That's what's going to make him happy. I think
there's a connection.
All right, that's it, bro. Do it. Pull the trigger.
Let's do it, man.
That's the determining factor. Let's do it. Keep Justin Jefferson happy. All right. And it really didn't cost us much at all here in the grand scheme of things. So easy decision. Easy decision when you put it all together there. We were going quarterback one way or the other, but Headley, as you mentioned, that LSU connection puts it over the top here. So Jaden Daniels to the Vikings with the 8th overall selection. Right.
Locked up, locked in.
Same Wiggins 9th overall.
What Atlanta got?
Nobody cares.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Terry Arnold.
Trade down for the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Latu fell to the
Steelers. Wow.
Steelers. Wow, that's crazy.
Look at Rome.
Yeah, that's
Who's balling?
Wow. Okay. Rakestraw, Barton, Guyton, Newbin in the first. Was that Ladd? Did Ladd go in the first?
Mm-mm.
Let me take a quick look. JJ Ladd was the first pick in the second round. Okay. You got Penix still there. Sleep. They sleeping on him. All right. All right, Vikings fans. So we traded up and we acquired Jaden Daniels. Didn't cost us much, so we're perfectly comfortable with it. And I'm a big proponent of outside of Caleb Williams, right? And we discussed it. We kind of explored it. This team, to me, isn't necessarily a quarterback away. Yeah. Of course, having a quarterback in position makes you competitive. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't know if that's enough to put you with the ranks of Green Bay and Detroit necessarily. So I don't want to mortgage the farm. I want to make sure I have significant draft capital in 2025, as well as the flexibility to continue to stuff this roster with talent. So what do we do here in the second round?
Check the interior line real quick, just to see what's there.
Big
just
need
so
there.
we don't miss
big
nothing.
need there.
I think defensive line, the edge position, Even on the interior, I think that's the biggest hole for Minnesota. I think that's where they need to go. You got Daniil Hunter, free agent, Davenport, free agent, Jonathan Bullard, free agent, Onum. I think they should bring back Onum, but he's a free agent as well.
Yeah.
So you got really no pass rushers.
Dallas Turner, Mr. C. Prasky. Dallas Turner to Seattle.
Go to the edge in D line.
Yeah, you got to get that right.
You know, I got Chop going to be there. Ooh, Darius Robinson out here? What are we doing?
That's
Braylon Trice still out here? Wow.
Yeah.
They moved. They
made some movements. Yeah, they did.
They moved all those guys down. They're not filling the edge rushes.
They absolutely did. And then the defensive line, interior.
They moved Fiske up.
Dolis went up a little bit too, I think.
Tavondre Sweat moved down. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, look, go ahead and get you some Darius Robinson, bro. Pause.
Let's get him.
I guess there is a shot that Darius Robinson and Chop would go with these next two picks. But the only reason why I wanted to kind of mention this potential trade down is that we don't have a third round selection here, right? We traded next year's third round in order to move up to acquire Jaden Daniels, but we don't have a third round pick in this draft. So I just want to see what the Raiders might be willing to part with here. Nope, never mind. All right, Darius Robinson it is. Darius Robinson it is.
Absolutely not.
And then we have a wait. We have a wait. We got about 67 picks between this selection and the next selection. So I was just talking about the Raiders, but let's see what the Rams would be willing to part with. Nope. Yeah, we'll just have to wait. All right, Darius Robinson it is.
There we go.
Bo Nix to the Falcons. Roman Wilson to the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Giants doing good. You got DeJean McCarthy, Roman Wilson.
Looks like Jonathan
Jalen McMillan to Kansas City.
You know.
Michael Pratt is your quarterback in New England.
Uh-oh.
Jeremiah Trotter, Jalen Wright with the last two picks there. Mr. C. Prasky.
Went to the Texans.
Mason McCormick is climbing. I think he got moved up in these rankings. Ooh, Cam Hart to the Giants. That one hurts.
All right. Boy, Dwayne Carter, bro, if you want to fix that interior.
Yeah, big Dwayne.
Leonard Taylor is still there too, by the way. So you dropped 7 spots.
Yeah. Pick up a 6th round pick. I don't know if it's worth it. Let's take a look at the players
on the
here.
board.
Yeah. The aforementioned Dwayne Carter and Leonard Taylor. If we really want to just kind of continue to focus on that offensive line, of course, there's question marks in the interior of the offensive line.
Cooper BB, what are we doing? What's going on, bro?
The thing about BB, though, and of course, we're very high on BB. I don't know that he's a great fit for this scheme. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, he's still on the board, period, bro.
But if we were to say to hell with it, you wouldn't necessarily get a fight from me. I just wanted to acknowledge the fact that he's not really a zone interior offensive lineman here.
Yeah, I think going back to the defense, the front seven.
Yeah.
I think they need multiple players there.
So cornerbacks. That's a nice edge play.
Corner, yeah, they can use a corner also.
It's a 109, then what?
130.
130. 20 picks. You gotta wait.
What about the running back position? I think the 4th round is a round in which you can get quality running back with a 3-down skill set, right? I think you have one more year of your boy. And he didn't look great last year.
Madison?
Madison did not look great last year.
Yeah. I think we move forward with Ty Chandler and
Ty Chandler
running back
and another player, right? So, I just want to take a quick look.
I mean, Cam Akers ain't it, bro?
No, can't stay healthy. Trey Benson is probably a good fit for that scheme.
Yeah.
Do we can get him at one? We can get him at the 130.
I don't know. This round, the running backs go. So
who's after Trey Benson? Let me see if another guy.
Got a guy, Dylan Johnson.
In
the lob.
I think
Cody Schrader.
I think Schrader would be a nice fit.
Is a good one. Okay. He might be at 130. There's a chance, but this is the round that generally you want to secure your running back in. So we can prioritize something else.
Let's just see if there's a guy along the front seven or corner. You know, you mentioned Dwayne Carter,
Taylor Jackson, Christian Boyd. There's Drew's guy, Tyler Davis, Mekhi Wingo. So good interior defensive linemen available.
By the edge.
Let me go to edge. Kamara, Caesar, Grayson Murphy, Xavier Thomas. There's Brennan Jackson that we need to check out.
Them boys wipe them boys out. Go to safety real quick.
They wiped out the edge, yeah.
Just gonna see what the nickel. There's a nickel chilling there. Nah.
Tyke Smith.
That's
a good nickel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm partial to Dwayne Carter right now.
How do you feel about the safety position?
Well, Harrison Smith can't play forever.
No, I can't.
I like Bynum. Bynum. Other safety.
Mm-hmm.
They might get safety.
And they drafted your boy, right? Lewis Seen, right?
Yeah, they did.
He's still got Seen.
He's got to get healthy. Stay healthy.
So I think safety we straight for now. I mean,
they got Jay Ward last season also.
Yeah, so I think they're straight there. Byron Murphy, but Andrew Booth, what he's saying?
Just wait for it, bro. He started to come on last year.
Okay.
And they really like your boy from USC. Murphy's in his last year of his deal, but his name's escaping me. Not Evans.
Oh, Blackman. Mekhi Blackman. Yeah. Got the size. There's so you say they like their corners.
I think they do. I'm not saying that we shouldn't add one, but I think they like the young players they have at corner.
Yeah. I keep going back to Dwayne Carter, like you said, Drew. I think the front seven needs a lot of help, man. Or my guy Ebo over there from Alabama, Justin. I think he's another guy also. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with either guy. To be honest with you, I'd probably take Carter over him, but you know.
Let's add some size with Carter here. Let's add some additional size here with Carter.
And then running back is the focus unless somebody falls that.
Leonard Taylor and Ebo with the next 2 picks.
Jeez, them boys heard us talking, bro.
Raylan.
They done bugged the war room.
All right, Trey Benson's still available. If we want to go in that direction here.
Yeah, wrap it up.
I like
bigger back.
Yeah, I like
it. With Chandler. Yeah.
Let's go grab Trey. Excellent, like in that zone scheme, like you say, man. Breaks a lot of tackles, physical. Put him with Chandler's speed. Now you got your running backs.
Lightning and thunder, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ooh, that boy's moved up your boy Jordan Travis.
Cooper Beebe's still on the board, bro.
Cooper Beebe's still on the board.
We might just have to
bite the bullet.
Bro. Yeah, plug and play.
We'll figure it out, bro. You know?
Yeah, we draft Cooper Beebe a lot, but we're big fans. Again, I think PFF, their concern here is the scheme, I suppose. Maybe they feel like he's limited for that, but even by their standards, I mean, look at this. By their standards,
there must be a bug in the system on him, bro.
Nah, man. I think they're really placing emphasis on the fact that he's
not.
He's in a power scheme, and there's not a whole lot of NFL teams running that type of offense. But we're gonna do it here. with Cooper Beebe. The value is just too good to pass up at this juncture. All right, our next pick at 157.
Right here.
Busy on day 3. Zach Zinter called it a day. Again, I don't know that the zone scheme is necessarily his forte, but 2 guards that we really like.
See,
Bertrand. Want to go back to the defensive side of the ball here?
Yeah.
Check their
Or they could use another receiver. Osborne, free agent right now, so they might need a third receiver to pair with Addison and Justin Jefferson.
All right. Looks like they're gonna need a linebacker for sure. Got a bunch of free agents there as well.
Yeah, they got Ivan Pace Jr. and Brian Asamoah.
So they started inside. Yeah.
And this Brian Flores attacking scheme.
Cedric
Gray looking real
Cedric
good.
Gray, yeah,
bro.
Cedric Gray looking real good.
Yeah, I like that, bro. What's their next pick after this one? Can we afford to
166?
166? Might be able to roll it. You want to roll the dice, bro? Or is there anybody else we would take in front of them right now?
Yeah, that's the question.
That's the question.
What's there for edge? Is there a stand-up edge over there?
Jalen Harrell. Stand up.
CTF.
You guys later. Stand up. Yeah.
How about any corners?
Got my guy Dwight, Nehemiah Pritchett, and you're getting into the Ryan Watts, Kamal Hayden's, MJ Devonshires of the world.
I was watching Hayden. He plays a lot of zone coverage.
I got some work to do on still. I need to watch Trey still.
It's a lot of zone coverage, click and close, physical guy.
How you feel about your boy from Arkansas? Can he man? Can he play man?
Yeah, that's his thing, isn't it?
Coverage,
right? I mean, you want to see him in zone. You really want him with his eyes on the quarterback. I think he can manage in man, but I think he loses some of his superpowers.
Okay, because that Flores system, he bring a lot of pressure, so you can get corners to cover.
Cover 1, cover 0. It might be Nehemiah Pritchett here, is what I would go. But let's
prioritize Gray and then come back to the corner.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
All right, Cedric Gray to bolster the second level of the defense, and I think this is a really great fit considering the attacking aspect of things.
Perfect,
Drew, you talked about it. Reiterate based on your conversation with him, the change at UNC defensively.
Yeah, I just asked him. Watching the tape, it looked like a year ago, you guys were real passive, kind of letting things come to you, kind of reading, then reacting versus just reacting. Right, heading downhill. Looks like that looks like that's the perfect defense for you. And you guys played faster, quicker. You caused more havoc up front. He's like, that's exactly was the thought process going into this current season, was that they wanted to come downhill. They wanted to be a more attacking style defense and make plays. And he's like, it's a perfect fit for me and my play style. So, and I think the players they had as well on that team, that fit them like a glove. So yeah, and so we're doing it again here with the Vikings in that attacking style defense.
All right, so quite a few of the guys that we were just discussing just came off the board here. Bo Gray, J.D. Bertrand, the aforementioned McLovin, Dylan Law, Nehemiah Pritchett. Bills going defense here in the 5th round. Zach Zinter stays in Michigan. Theo Johnson to Baltimore. They don't need tight ends, but you know how they do it. And Jaheim Bell to the Panthers. So I don't know if you're gonna. Again, I'm not as familiar with Terheeb still. I've seen a little Ryan Watts. Kamal Hayden, you mentioned, was in a lot of zone. Devonshire, you kind of want him looking at the quarterback as well.
I think John Dixon maybe we get later for the cornerback position. Maybe I'm thinking because they played a little man zone there combination. I like Luke McCaffrey there for the separation.
Little slot guy.
Yeah.
Had a solid week. Yeah, he had a solid week at
Yeah.
the Senior Bowl. I don't know if we have much behind Hawkinson, do we?
Look.
We got Josh Oliver. He's a nice
Yeah,
pass
they
catching
like
tight
him a
end.
lot. They like him a lot.
But if
They
we
throw
want
him one of the most
a guy in the
awesome
run game, I don't think we have that. A more physical tight end in the run
physical
game.
tight end to block, set the edge.
You got CJ Ham, the fullback. He's still on the roster. Good to see fullbacks still on rosters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's funny.
Got a few defensive linemen here that I would consider taking with either 179 or 227.
Yeah,
Continue
Miles
to
Murphy is an
round out that
interesting
group.
name. You know, we talked about his teammate Cedric Gray from North
Mhm.
Carolina. Murphy's another guy that improved from this season to last season, and he gets after it as well. Physical player as well, so it's an interesting name.
What did we
He
say
is a
before?
166th ranked player, and we're at the 166th pick. So,
let's
are you
take
standing
him,
on the
man.
table for him?
Who was it before that we were thinking about snatching up?
The corners came off the board. We were talking about a number of the corners there. They came off the board.
Okay.
Let's do a quick recap here. Quick recap. Trade up to acquire Jaden Daniels, and fortunately didn't require us to mortgage the farm as he was sliding. Then I believe we went with, where is it? It's Darius Robinson falls to us to 42. So great value there. And we had a bit of a wait. Our next pick didn't come until the 4th round.
109.
And 109, we went Dwayne Carter. So we went to addressing the defensive line. I think Dwayne Carter could very well come off the board on day 2. So good value there. 130, we added a back to pair with Tyson Chandler, a little thunder and lightning there with Trey Benson. Good fit for the scheme, outside zone. Then Cooper Beebe to address the interior of that offensive line. And I believe most recently, Cedric Gray. So we could definitely stand to go back
to the defensive line.
Well. I mean, we brought in Robinson, we brought in Dwayne Carter. So I don't know that it absolutely has to be at this juncture, but you think about what's on the board, you think about value, how high rated of players you have. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Murphy, 6'3", 312, 33-inch arms. So, he has that going for him. He has a physical nature. I think he's really good in the run game. If you need a run stopper. And also, like you said, that attacking North Carolina defense, they really made him get upfield also. So he showcased a little bit of pass rushing skills. But yeah, him and Dwayne Carter on the interior, those are two big physical players.
Keep them linebackers free, let them flow and do their thing.
All right, Miles Murphy is the pick then. Heavy emphasis on the D line here. Heavy emphasis.
McCaffrey gone. Of course, he went to the Chiefs, bro. Where else would he have gone, bro?
Then they've drafted like 3 or 4 receivers. All right, 2 picks
have.
left. We have 179 and 227. Let's take a quick look. There is D-Kid's guy, Roger Rosengarten.
What was the corner I said I wanted?
Your boy from Penn State, Johnny Dixon. You mentioned Johnny Dixon.
There you go.
Throw him out there. I know he didn't really have a good time at the Senior Bowl, but the tape, man, he was physical. They brought him off the edge, blitzed him. He's more of an attacking corner. So this late, man, I'm with him this late.
Take a shot on him, man. And he didn't have a Kalen King day, bro.
Nah, it wasn't that bad. He did a little better than Caleb.
Right.
Oh, man. You know who I really would like right here? Cody Schrader. I know we already addressed the running back position, but I really would be intrigued by a Cody Schrader in this offense for sure. All right, let's go with Johnny Dixon. Add him to the secondary here. Play some man coverage behind all that blitzing.
All right.
Traded to Miami. All right. Final pick is at 2 27. And typically at this point in the draft, you're looking for the upside. You're looking for the sparky guys, the athlete to hopefully mold him into an actual football player. But we'll see. We'll see what the board has available for us here.
Oh
We're gonna find out
yeah,
that
Lamar.
Sparky this
We
week.
did a New York Giants mock draft already.
It's
check
up
out the
on
channel. Yeah,
came
check
out
out the
today.
channel, bro. It came out today.
Yeah, came out
Yeah, we
today.
recorded it last week or maybe the week before, and in the live stream, and the actual standalone video is actually on the channel. So definitely check that out there, Lamont. All right. What we have here? Jalen Ford still available. They moved him way down. So that tackling is not getting it done.
Yeah,
I think Brandon Coleman took a hit. He took a hit. You got Keith Randolph. Rasheen Ali. I guess my guy isn't here anymore, huh? Nope.
Kings is still there. Who you looking for?
Your boy Kingsley right there.
Cohen.
Throw him in that guard.
JB and Cohen.
How many?
Guard.
We got Boot Cooper. Let me look at them boys interior right quick.
Is it what's his name? He's from LSU. He's the other guard.
You talking about Ed Ingram?
Ed Ingram. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been up and down. He's been
Kingsley,
up and down.
bro.
When in doubt, go to Gator, bro.
Yeah, man.
Well, what do you guys have against Layden Robinson? What you guys got against him?
His injuries, bro. He was at one point. Who was the guard that came out before him the year before? And Robinson was supposed to come out. He went to the Texans. Yeah. And it's Green. His last name is Green, right?
Kenyon Green.
Kenyon
Green. Yeah. What happened to him? He busted grape?
Nah, he busted grape.
And
you scouting the helmet? You scouting the helmet now?
No,
I was
asking. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm looking at my notes.
Why are we talking about Kenyon Green? We talking about Layden Robinson. Why are we talking about Kenyon Green?
The reason why is because I thought Robinson actually had a better chance to be a better player. Just that you ain't seen him.
I looking at my notes with Layden Robinson, and first thing I said, he can improve his core strength and balance through contact. Could improve recognition on stunts and blitzes. Inconsistent hands. Top and bottom half need to sync better. So I got a lot of negative
things you need to work on. A lot of things you need to work on.
On Layden Robinson,
man, enough, bro.
I gotta do more work, but my notes don't look good on him, man.
Don't worry about it. He ain't playing enough.
All right, Kingsley is one of our favorites here in the 7th round. So, he has the ability to play center and guard. So I think the utility that he offers and the upside is worthwhile. So let's go with Kingsley out of Florida.
That dude's not going in the 7th round. I don't know what they doing, bro. It's trash, but
I mean, he ain't play, so I think that's part of it. I think that's part of the reason why he's a bit lower in the rankings. But he's a top. I think he's in the top 160 for us, maybe a little bit higher.
Yeah.
So we're certainly higher on him than PFF is. All right.
Let's grab him.
Mr. Irrelevant coming up.
That'll do it. Thank you, Jake. We workshopped it. We got it. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the damage we did. We didn't do a whole lot of, we're generally bouncing all over the draft board. We really didn't do a whole lot of that. We went up and we secured Jane Daniels because we believe that that's what it's going to take in order to keep Justin Jefferson pacified, get him to put the ink or the pen to paper here on this contract. Great value in the 2nd round with respect to Darius Robinson. And of course, the flexibility. We talked about it as we were updating our board, our top 200 draft board. The fact that he could do so many things up front will give Brian Flores a lot to work with there. We place the emphasis on the defensive line, right? That front 7, trying to retool that as we have guys with expiring contracts. Dwayne Carter, the big Dwayne Carter, physical presence in the middle. We take him in the 4th round. Again, a guy that could very well come off the board in the 3rd round. So we got good value there. Didn't have a 3rd round pick. Didn't necessarily find a trade partner that made sense. So happy with the selection of Dwayne Carter and Trey Benson. There was a little consternation in terms of whether, at least for me, because I think they do need to pair Tyson Chandler up with someone. He fits this scheme very well. I think Trey Benson fits this scheme very well. He has his limitations. I think he's a bit of a linear ball carrier, but
Right.
in the outside zone, that is kind of what you're looking for in the outside zone. You want guys who are going to get north and south. You understand what I'm saying? So great fit there. Cooper Beebe, perhaps not a great schematic fit here, but the value is just too good, particularly with your need at guard. They tried a couple of different things. Who did they get off the street in season? I think it was I
The
think he was
linebacker.
from Denver. No, a veteran. They had so many injuries. They had so many injuries along their offensive line that they were just getting, veterans off the street to kind of fill those
Dalton
gaps.
Risner.
Dalton Reisner. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Another Kansas State product. So we're gonna plug Cooper Beebe in. We bring in Cedric Gray and Miles Murphy, both from UNC. Think they're really good fits in Brian Flores' attacking scheme. UNC made a transition this past season to more of a downhill attacking style, and it made a world of difference for their defense. Johnny Dixon in the 6th round, good solid value here in the 6th round. Maybe not necessarily a value here. Maybe this is where he is slotted, but the physicality certainly plays as far as the man coverage is concerned. And then Kingsley Eguakun, not sure how to pronounce it, but he's one of our favorites. He's one of our favorites late in drafts in terms of that position flexibility, being able to play all 3 interior offensive line positions, and we're significantly higher on him than PFF. So I have now recapped the draft. Now I need your thoughts. Now I need your thoughts on it, Hadley. What do you think? We didn't we didn't move around a lot. We didn't have a 3rd round selection, but do you think we did the Vikings justice here?
Yeah, I think the big decision at the top of the draft was where we want to do at the quarterback position, where we wanted to go. Did we want to trade up for Jaden Daniels, which we did, or stay put or move back a little bit for a Michael Penix Jr. We opted to go with Jaden Daniels. That's Justin Jefferson's guy. The LSU ties are there. We want to keep him in-house. I think he's a great fit in this offense. You got the receivers. We added a Trey Benson to go with a Ty Chandler. You got your running backs. You got your tight end, TJ Hawkinson, a top 3 tight end in the league. But, I think we won the draft along the defensive line. Well, the front 7, let's say that. I think we won along the front 7 with Darius Robinson, versatile guy. He could put his hand in the ground. He could stand up. He could play inside. He could do a lot of different things on this defense. I think, we talked about Cedric Gray. I think Robinson's another great fit for a Brian Flores defense to get after the quarterback and attack. So getting Darius Robinson, power playing Dwayne Carter, Cedric Gray, and Miles Murphy. Those guys in the front 7. There's a lot of free agents coming up here for the Minnesota Vikings. So replenishing that front 7, I think, will be key in this draft. And I think we did it there with those 4 players. So I love what we did there for the Minnesota Vikings.
There you go, Mr. C. Brass. We got the rookie quarterback contract. We can give all the Cousins money, all that guaranteed money to Justin Jefferson now. So
Pay him.
Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy. Drew, you were the guy, man. You were the guy who pegged Justin Jefferson. That's who you want in that particular draft class. CeeDee Lamb was receiver 1 for me. Was receiver 1 for you, Hadley? CD?
Yeah, CD. Yeah. CeeDee Lamb was receiver 1 for like 2 seasons, bro. For me.
CD really put it together this past season. He really, really put it together this past season. But excellent young receivers in that particular class. Your thoughts on it, Drew, this particular mock draft here?
I don't know if there's anything else to say. Y'all boys have filled in all the gaps, bro.
So you don't have any unique.
The only thing I can say
insight. This is why folks are tuned in. They're here to hear what you have to say.
But if y'all taking all the insight, you know what I'm saying?
We took all the insight, bro.
You got to talk about the O-line.
No insight.
I don't want to talk about the O-line. Nobody wants to talk about the O-line, bro. We got Cooper Beebe. He don't fit, but we picked him because the value was too good. We had to take him. You know what I'm saying? He don't necessarily fit the scheme, but we'll make it work. We'll figure it out. Sometimes you just got to figure it out. Just got to figure it out, right? Yeah. And again, we talked about Kingsley, who I think he could fit any scheme. Play guard, center, left, right, don't matter. So let me just talk about the pick I really like, which is the Dwayne Carter pick. I stood on the table to get him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I love his power, his ability to take up space or to just penetrate and cause havoc up front, man. He's a guy who can take on a couple of guys. So the Cedric Grays of the world, the Ivan Paces of the world. Who's the other linebacker I'm forgetting off the top of my head? Is it
for Minnesota.
Middle linebackers. I'm drawing a blank.
You got Pace and Asamoah. Brian
Asamoah. That's what it was. Yeah,
Asamoah.
Yeah, they keep them boys free and flowing and coming downhill and just playing that attacking style defense, man. Because if those guys are kept free, they're gonna do a lot of work. And Ivan Pace Jr., who was at the Senior Bowl last year, I think he was the best blitzing linebacker in the league this past year. So put some beef up in front of him. It can only get better. If not, it'll stay the same. And that defense at the second level is going to flourish, man. So, yeah, man, I like this draft for these guys, man.
Yeah, you don't sound all that enthused, but,
that's a great draft. It's a great draft for these guys.
Yeah, top to bottom. And again, we didn't have a third round pick. We didn't really maneuver the draft board. So, excellent stuff here, Jake. I know you're tongue in cheek here, but they don't teach at the NFL level. Only a handful of teams, handful of offensive line coaches actually teach the requisite technique, man. I think what a lot of teams do end up doing is they teach guys where to be, right? The play,
figure it out,
the schematics, but the technique aspect of it, there's only a handful of coaches across the league that are actually teaching technique, and you can kind of spot the teams that have quality development at certain positions. That those are the guys that are actually doing the teaching.
Yeah,
and Mo, no third round pick, man. No third round pick. I'm sure Drew is.
Oh yeah, we'd lock that up, bro. Right? Oh, we'd lock that up. Absolutely. Right.
Because the
I wanted Luke McCaffrey, but we didn't draft him, bro. Who do we win? We went with what instead of Luke McCaffrey?
I think we went Cedric Gray.
Yeah,
either Miles Murphy or Cedric Gray.
I ain't too mad about that, but I think it was Miles Murphy. But what was I gonna say, man? What was the comment before, Mo? I was gonna say something and I forgot. Who was that?
With respect to Jake.
You was talking about the O line. There's two coaches I can think off the top of my head. Is Callahan and Dante Scarnecchi. Those are the two off the top of my head.
Teams I can think about is the Eagles. They do a good job.
Munchak when he was around. Lions. I'm not sure if he's coaching anymore. The Lions certainly.
The Lions
do their thing.
Yeah, Philly. To your point, at least previously. I think the coaching staff is eating off of what was already put in place in Philly to be real, but certainly that group has been impressive for quite some time as well. All right,
man. Coaching matters, bro. Coaching matters. That's absolutely what we always say. Coaching matters.
Mo's like, hey man, you got to get Ricky in every mock draft, bro. What you doing?
I'll tell you, bro. Numbers don't want to listen. We got him sitting here at 178 and all this other kind of stuff.
178?
78.
We got him that.
Might as well be 178, bro, on the board.
Ridiculous. Ronti, appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. We do aim to give more than the cookie cutter superficial analysis that tends to be in vogue. So we could be long-winded though, and we do get on tangents from time to time. But appreciate you rocking with us. All right, let's take a breather here.
Let it breathe
and get us. Let's get prepared for the Broncos, who are also a quarterback needy team. And
it's a weird team, bro. This might be the one team I don't like drafting for, bro.
Very strange, bro.
Just in a bad spot.
He said, ugh.
That's one team. I just look at them like, what do we do, man? Outside of the quarterback position, what do you do with these boys? All right.
They got some good pieces.
I don't think.
I'm not saying it's bad. Just
way off, but it's the quarterback situation and the cap figure discrepancy. I think they're going to be able to save some money with letting Russ go, but at the same time they're going to be in the hole. I don't know. It's a mess.
Strange.
It's a mess. I thought Sean Payton might ride it out at least another year, but guess not.
So he want his guy in there.
We got to get the quarterback, man. We got to do it. JJ McCarthy, man. Let's go get it.
We don't have to go get it, bro. You should drop right to us. Should.
Well, that's true.
All right. So is that the approach here? Is the approach to let the draft come to us? No second round pick. We don't have a second round pick. Trade down might be in order, man. I'll be real with you.
That's assuming we could. I think JJ McCarthy would be nice for these guys. I do. I think this would be a solid pick.
Yeah, the way I look at the Broncos is you mortgaged the farm for Russell Wilson and it didn't work out.
All right.
It didn't work out. Are you a quarterback away? That's a question that you have to ask. Are you one of these top 2-3 quarterbacks away from being able to compete for the division, for a playoff spot, a wild card spot? I like what they did as the year progressed. They seemed to start to buy into Sean Payton. The defense started to play better. But I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. So after giving up all that draft capital to acquire Russell Wilson, I don't know if I want to delve right back into that, especially when you got these teams out here trying to ransom these top 3 picks for 3 first rounders, a pair of second rounders, your best player on top of that. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's like, I want to put at least this year, put some faith in Sean Payton of being able to develop a younger quarterback and get the most out of that young player, perhaps. But let's see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays out. And again, before I get it started, is there any appetite for moving up here?
Nah, I'm good.
All right.
Let it ride.
Let's see what happens. Caleb Williams, Drake May at the top. Joe Alt, Marvin Harrison Jr., Roma Dunze. Okay. So last draft, Rome fell to 18. Here he is going 5th overall. All right. Keep it going. Malik Neighbors, Quinyon Mitchell. Whoa. Okay.
Wow.
So I suppose we could perhaps see what the Falcons talking about again. See if they'll take that 3 next year.
You talking about Jaden Daniels?
Decent chance. Decent chance. Although this team may want to trade down without that second round pick. So what?
Yeah. Not chill.
No.
Bro.
You mean to stay put? You mean to stay put?
Stay put. Yeah, stay put.
All right, let's keep it going.
Yeah, the simulator have been sliding Jaden Daniels down. I've been noticing that with the simulator.
All right. That's why.
Not sure what they got against them.
Cooper DeJean, Brock Bowers to the Bears, Nate Wiggins to Lisa Fuaga. So no quarterback from Minnesota either. All right.
Yeah, I think they got to update the simulator because I think 5 quarterbacks are going in the first round. And based on what we're seeing, it's really only 3.
Quarterbacks will be pushed up
first
the
like
board.
15 picks.
Quarterbacks will definitely be pushed up the board here. James, this just started for us this week. I think last week you typically saw Daniels. He'll go to 3. Pretty frequently he was being picked, maybe 2 or 3, and then at the latest he was coming off the board at 8. So tonight is the first night that I've seen him get out of the top 10 on this simulator. So interesting. Yeah,
there's no way to ramp up the quarterback, like have them go higher. There's no
So now you want to play with the scales now.
Yeah,
you want to play with them now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, bro. We know quarterbacks are going, bro. JJ McCarthy is going top 12.
You gotta do
So I'm gonna ask this question one time. I'm gonna ask it one time. Do you want to start this one over? Do you want to ramp up the positional value and start this one over?
No, it's like 2. It's like 2 seconds, bro.
I know, but I'm just asking the question. Yes or no?
Yeah. Start it over, bro.
All
Come on, man.
Let's get realistic out here, bro.
Listen, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous, bro.
All right. Care for positional value.
There you go.
All right.
It's about to get crazy.
Let's do it.
Don't be scared, bro. Scared money don't make no money, bro. Pull the trigger.
All right. Working out the same way again here.
Ain't nothing happened. Same thing, bro. Same thing. Nothing happened, bro. Okay.
Just said it, bro. PFF bugging, bro. That's the comment right there.
Man. All right. So one more time. You want me to increase the team need?
Yeah, one more time, bro. One last time.
All right. Last time.
Absolutely ridiculous, bro.
All the way?
No,
Or
right.
right here. Right there. Right there.
Right there. Yeah, that should do it.
All right. Let's see what happens. PFF got the scoop, isn't it?
Sure.
PFF knows something.
Wasn't that? No, they don't.
No?
No. Start
Negative.
order, bro.
All right. This is it. This is the last go around here for the Broncos. So let's restart it once more. Telling you, man. The
Bro,
boys know
shot,
something, bro. Boys know something, man.
Wow. Okay.
3 times.
Okay.
3 times. All right. No charges. Come on. Come on. From 37? What are you doing?
They on that. They on
No
that
no
stuff.
other offers? See, we had an offer from the Saints previously.
Yes, sir.
Hard life. All right. It looks like we're making a pick here.
All right, man. You know what to do.
Quarterback.
No, I don't. I mean, I know it's a quarterback, but which one?
Who on the board?
It's
Daniels
Daniels,
and Penix.
McCarthy, and Penix.
Oh,
McCarthy, Nux, Penix.
Gotta go Daniels, bro.
It's Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
That's the quarterback.
Jaden Daniels,
That's
bro.
the guy?
That's the guy.
All right. Let's do
I
it.
mean, obviously, if he's gone, now we got a discussion between McCarthy and Penix, but
Yeah.
right.
Do we want to assume that he's gone?
Discussion. It's not a discussion from me.
No, I know it's not a discussion for you, but the understanding is that McCarthy's going top 10, right? That's the understanding.
Sure,
This is 12,
sure.
so
Sure.
and Penix is on the outside looking in, right? Is
Mhm.
what word on the street is. So that's all I'm saying. But yeah, go ahead and go Daniels, man.
Yeah. Daniels should be top 3. You know, I think there was reports of saying that, you know, NFL teams like Jaden Daniels a lot, you know, but a lot of teams like him over Drake May. So,
Yeah.
you know, I don't see him falling out the top 3. But, you know, PFF might know something. They might know something.
No, they don't, bro. Stop, bro.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, bro.
Ridiculous.
Pause it up right here. I'm not buying it that you know, and maybe this wasn't what you were actually saying, Headley. There could be a handful of teams that prefer Jaden Daniels over Drake. Man, I'm not buying that the majority of teams favor Jaden Daniels over Drake May.
That size, the physical stuff.
I'm not buying it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Our next pick is at 76, by the way. I have a question. I need you to confirm. Yeah, Dana. It's weird. We tried it 3 times and keeps on happening. This is not accurate, boy. What you want me to do, D-Kid? Fire PFF?
Yeah, we got to switch. We got to switch next
Draft
time,
Simulator?
man. Let's get to a new one.
We'll get to a new one.
We tired of PFF.
Sure.
Tired of PFF. All right. Is Jerry Jeudy still under contract? Is what I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Jerry.
It looks that way. Sutton, Mims, and Jeudy.
Do you ride it out one more year with Jeudy, or do you move him?
Well, the word on the streets is that they've been trying to move him. They just, I guess, they're not realistic with
what they can anticipate getting back for him.
Yeah, you got to go like maybe 3rd, 4th round pick. You know, you're not gonna probably get the 1st or 2nd for him at this point.
Well, yeah, I agree with you there. If that's the asking price right now, then they're insane.
He's talking $13 million this year.
That's not too expensive.
No.
So, but I don't unless he goes crazy this year. I just don't see them re-upping with him.
Yeah, they got to put Marvin Mims on the field more.
I agree wholeheartedly. My dynasty team needs that. So again, a bit of a wait here. 76 overall. Any desire to trade up, to get aggressive?
No.
So what's the biggest need for these boys? What you
What'd
think the
you say,
biggest need
Drew?
for us after quarterback? What you thinking? What's the biggest need?
Drew, what did you say?
You said didn't the boys need we don't want to use draft picks, right? We want
We don't want to
well
mortgage.
you wanted this with a mortgage picture. You wanted a second round pick if you could get one.
Yeah, and a trade down. But my point is that I'm talking about trading up for a quarterback. What that would cost to trade up for a quarterback. That's what I was against. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just finding our way into the second round. I'm okay with that if that's something that we would be interested in. At least asking in terms of what the needs are.
Let me see.
Got
to trade him to Carolina in that, Drew. You trade Jerry Jeudy to Carolina.
That would be a
yeah.
I like that. That's actually pretty smart.
Yeah, I like that one.
Jerry Jeudy for the 33rd overall pick or nah? That ain't it.
I don't think they'll do it, but that's an early second round pick. That's pretty much a first round pick.
Yeah, first round pick. You're right. Boys need Skinner. They got Simmons.
They could use another corner opposite Surtain.
Yeah.
I know they drafted Riley Moss last season. You know, he's a guy that can move around. I think Riley Moss could play slot, outside, safety. He could do a lot of things for the defense, but might could get a corner on the outside opposite Patrick Surtain. I like the young pass rushers, Browning, Bonito, Jonathan Cooper, Drew Sanders. They got him at outside linebacker. I think you can push him inside next to Alex Singleton. Josie Jules on a free agent, so
Free agent. Yeah, they got a
maybe get another interior linebacker or bring him back.
About the middle.
Yeah, they could get some help along. Yeah, defensive line. I like Zach Allen.
I think there will be some competition for Pickett this year. If at this juncture, I mean, it's still very early. There's a lot that could transpire. I wouldn't rule out Pickett being your week one starter, but I definitely think they're going to bring in some competition.
Yeah, offensive line. I think they could use some help. Offensive line also. James center, guard, the interior. I guess Garrett Bowles is the left tackle, and McGlinchey, they brought him in last season to play right tackle. So, yeah, the interior O-line, a corner, and maybe some beef up front.
Alex Forsythe ain't it?
Oregon, right?
How long ago they drafted him? 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think so. Has he been healthy? I know it was
I think he was coming in off an injury, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I'm saying.
Him. Yeah, so I'm not sure about.
He's the next center up, so he's a guy that he could move. So he fits a zone scheme.
All right, so interior offensive line, interior defensive line, a corner, and a possible receiver if we're moving away from Jeudy.
Yeah, I'm going to make this trade. I'm going to get this late second round pick and add a 5th round pick. I think this is probably more than would actually fetch him, but seems like most teams are open to the idea of adding Jerry Jeudy. So appreciate that suggestion, Dana. Let's make this trade here. Add some draft capital here to the Broncos.
KC, yeah. You trading Jeudy? That's what you're doing? Yeah. I missed that whole. Yeah, what we trading him for?
64 and 133.
Okay, I like that.
So reasonable.
So now do you think we need a receiver?
Not early.
Yeah,
I don't think you need one early. I like what I might be adding a tight end. I like what I saw from Sutton this past year. Sutton is really blossomed, and I think Marvin Mims can add a new element to this offense. But it's not as if there aren't options here.
Xavier Worthy sitting right there for you. Jalen Polk sitting there right for you. Just favorite receiver Tez Walker sitting there for him. Come on, bro. What are you doing?
I had to try it. Mississippi Practice, Seattle Seahawks wanted to holler, so I had to try it.
Nah, you insulting their intelligence, bro. That. Come on, bro. Okay, Jeudy Rice is it's a strong combination.
What are we doing?
I mean, receivers right there, bro. That's all I'm saying. But let's go to the O-line, D-line. We need to see what's there available.
Yeah, see what corner out there too.
Here's your offensive line. Top-rated player according to PFF, Blake Fisher. You got Mahogany Van Pran, Mason McCormick, Dominic Pooney.
Yeah, I like a Pooney for them.
I like a Pooney too. Yeah.
All right.
Like I said, there's Van Pran for them too.
Defensive line and edge.
Dorless. It's Dorless, bro. Is it not? Or we going? You want to go Sweat?
That's Tavondre Sweat.
Tavondre, because them boys need a bully up there.
And then your corners.
Of course,
Jerry Jones.
Both state and state.
Yeah, I like Renardo Green.
You go corner over.
Nah, I'll wait on corner. There's a lot of good corners out there. You know, Dorless would be hard to pass up.
Right. I like Xavier Worthy for these boys.
Mo, I'm a Hurricanes fan.
Gator
Seminoles. Fan. All Florida schools, man.
Yeah.
3 big ones. The
and
crazy thing is
we all went to USF.
We went to USF. And the crazy thing is I'm from the South Florida area, Florida State fan. Juice grew up in Tallahassee and is a Miami fan.
I'm a Hurricane fan. You know how that happened, huh?
Yeah, man.
You know how that happened.
Come on, bro.
Y'all boys.
I had to get up out of there.
Goofy.
I had to get up out of there, boy. You don't know nothing about that panhandle, man. I had to get up out of there.
And Drew was more in Central Florida, so the Gators, that makes sense for him.
Yeah.
Pearsall at 76. Oh, Pearsall at 76, bro. If you want to add that receiver.
Yeah, let's do that.
You got Polk, Worthy, Leggett, Rice, McCorley.
A lot of good receivers, bro. What's our next couple picks?
He got drafted, bro.
Hard to get picked.
He ain't on the damn.
Yeah, he did.
Oh man,
yeah,
the Eagles. Oh man. Well, we got some good receivers.
Nick Miller.
We can wait on the receiver.
There's a lot of receivers. So
yeah,
what are we prioritizing right here? We
I'm good with the D. Go to D line. It's either Sweat or Dorless. Take your pick.
Yeah, I'm partial to Dorless.
And you want to prioritize this over perhaps a Dominic Pooney. You're going to wait on a Pooney, maybe.
What's Pooney? What's he rated?
I think 108.
108.
He's 108.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's going to be tough.
It is going to be tough. Nah, take the D. Let's go D line first, and then we'll.
All right. So we'll stay true, although we have them rated very closely, Dorless and Sweat.
Right.
Ellie mentioned he's partial to Dorless. We'll go with Dorless. And there's a run on receivers.
All right.
Who's playing linebacker next to Singleton?
Justin Jewell is out. You got next.
I think they could move Drew Sanders there. I know they got they got him at the outside.
It is Drew Sanders' time.
On the depth chart, they got him as an outside linebacker, but he could do both.
It's Drew Sanders' time. Put him next to Singleton. You need to figure it out.
All right.
Yeah, for the wide receiver, we always talk about different kinds of receivers. Mims is your speed guy. Sutton's your big guy. I would like a nice little route running slot, man.
Oh, you want a route running slot? Okay.
That's kind of what I want. McMillan, right. even Corley. I think Corley could get the job done.
Cowan kind of fits that build.
Oh, McMillan already went.
Yeah, McMillan went. There was a run. There was a big time run on the receivers. Worthy. McMillan must have already been picked. Yeah, he went to Baltimore. Well, Worthy, Polk, Leggett, Johnny Wilson, Tez, Brennan Rice, and Jamari Thrash all got picked.
I'm not mad at Corley right here. That guy's a physical guy, man.
Different flavor receiver. I'm okay with it.
Come on, Green Bay.
No, bro.
Sell your soul.
Come on,
Malik Washington. All right. Malachi
Washington is a
Marvin Mims type.
Yeah. Well, if you don't get your Corley,
Is there any other position you would like to address?
What's the corner? Go to corner. Go
Corner. Is Pooney still on the board? That'd be a nice pickup right there.
Yep,
Yep.
Pooney's available.
What's their next pick?
114.
We cutting it close, bro.
Yeah, I'm with the Pooney man.
Yeah, go Pooney.
Pooney over Corley? All right.
Yeah, let's be responsible.
Dominic Pooney it is.
Goes Corley.
Malachi Corley to the Texans.
And State came off the board.
A lot of corners came off the board, too.
Yeah. Damn. Well, still some good corners there. All right. Did you say you were looking for a tight end? You said that? Not that we need to grab one.
Yeah, I think it's an area of the team that they need to address. But we could do it with one of the next 4 selections.
You don't like DeLucci? I'm big on
They're not
DeLucci
using him.
there.
They're not using him, bro. He's got injury concerns, but they're just simply not using him. If we want to move Mims into the slot, we could bring in a Javon Baker.
You mean Dulcich? Call him man DeLucci.
DeLucci. Yeah. I did call him DeLucci.
I was like, what's DeLucci? I was trying to find him on the board.
You're trying to find him it's late, bro. It's late. You said what did you say receiver was? You said move Mims inside and Javon Baker.
You got Baker there. Cornelius Johnson, Malik Washington. I think those are all options here. A little bit later, you got Taj Washington, Isaiah Williams, Luke McCaffrey.
I like the Malik Washington guy. We missed out on Corley.
Corley.
Yeah.
I can do Baker, Washington, either or.
Okay.
Or you don't want to wait for Jack Saint. Rosemary Jack Saint.
Any other position?
Got a corner yet?
No.
No, we still haven't grabbed a corner. What's our next pick after 114?
122.
Oh, we got. I think go to receiver real quick. I just want to see.
The chat is claiming Kalen King.
Nah, man.
Nah, chill. I'm good with Javon Baker.
I'm good with Malik.
All right, Juice. You gotta break the tie, bro.
I want to mix it up. I want to go with Malik Washington.
Okay.
There we go.
And I think in Sean Payton's offense, receivers need to be where they're supposed to be. And that's a question mark with Baker. Dana asked someone talking about Johnny Wilson moving him to tight end. What do you think about that one? Ellie, you the State fan. What do you think?
I like what he did at wide receiver at the Senior Bowl, man. The move to tight end, he could block for a wide receiver. Not an inline blocking.
Inline tight end, right.
Yeah, so he could be that big slot, man. I kind of like him at the wide receiver position over tight end.
Yeah, I thought he caught the football well, because that's the biggest question mark with him. He actually moves fairly well for a player his size. But the hands have always been inconsistent. And I thought during the Senior Bowl week he did a good job there. So I think he definitely helped himself. I don't think that the move is going to happen. It's going to be too hard to get him on the field. All right. The chat is exclaiming Kalen King with one of these picks here. So
let's get him.
Good, man. What round is this?
Still a 4th round. It's too soon. Reconsider.
We like him in the 5th. The 5th is a sweet spot, bro. All right. That's where the Giants grabbed him.
Damn.
All right.
Damn, Mississippi Brasky.
Come
on.
If
Denver takes King, the Chiefs going to win 3 months.
We can't take King. All right. We ain't trying to see that, man. We got to pass him up.
Oh, man.
I'm good with
Juke, I think there's some good corners here, man. I like James. I think Carson at this point is in play. I like the way Smith competes. Josh Newton is a guy that we like. I'm a Dwight McGlothern fan. Hey, Johnny Wilson to UDFA.
Yeah, I can see it.
Bobo greater than Wilson.
Hey, man, you know something.
All right. Decisions. Decision time.
Kalen Carson for me.
Okay. Badly.
I'm a Josh Newton guy.
All right.
Break the tie, man.
It's for me to decide. Let's go Kalen Carson. Let's mix it up.
Go. What's our next pick? Got to ask.
133.
Okay, you talking about a tight end? You want your Ben Sinnott right here?
I don't hate it. Hopefully he's there at 146. If not, we'll go Theo Johnson, or perhaps we prioritize Theo Johnson here.
Okay.
I'm thinking about the running back room. What does the running back room look like? I think your boy has 1 year left on his deal.
Got McLaughlin, Javonte Williams, P. Ryan.
Hey, we're going to get that right, D-Kid. Don't even worry about it. Business decisions being made. Business decisions. What were those names again? I'm sorry, Hadley.
Javonte Williams, P. Ryan, and Jaleel McLaughlin.
I know they like all those backs. I think they all have a role, but I know Javonte is going into the last year of his deal. Is P. Ryan? How long was that deal P. Ryan signed?
It'd be like a 2-year deal. It's probably wasn't longer than 2 years.
So he's probably in the last year.
What's up, Joey? Who we got, man?
We drafted so far for the Broncos. All right, let's do a recap here. It's been weird. We tried this about 3 different times, and it played out the same way each time. We got Jaden Daniels with the 12th overall pick. We don't anticipate it working out that way, but it happened to work out that way all 3 times we gave this a try. We actually traded Jerry Jeudy. We entered negotiations with the Kansas City Chiefs. We were able to get a 2nd and a 4th rounder. In all likelihood, they probably only get one of those 2 picks, but the Chiefs appear desperate, and I guess they feel that they can fix Jerry Jeudy. Certainly could route cats up. So we added the 64th overall pick. We went with Brandon Dorlus there. And in the 3rd round, we took Dominic Pooney from Kansas to bolster the interior of the offensive line. All right. And then I believe our first pick in the 4th round, we have several, was Malik Washington out of Virginia, because, of course, we traded away Jerry Jeudy. So now we're looking at Sutton, Mims, and Washington, like that trio. And then most recently, we selected Kalen Carson to add to the secondary. All right. D-Kid is thinking Sinnott or Jaheim Bell here. I'm wondering, I'm thinking maybe wait till 146. I want to prioritize the running back, the guy that we're going to get moving forward. And you know who I want. You already know who I want. Yeah, man.
I'm good with it. One last time we did Braylon Allen.
Yep. Give me Braylon Allen.
With good feet, bro. He can't make you miss.
Yeah, I think Braylon Allen is much lighter on his feet than that 235, 240 frame suggests. I think he's competent out of the backfield. He's not Kamara, obviously, out of the backfield in the passing game, but he's competent in that area of the game. He's a young player. Like he's still 19. He's still 19. So I love the upside. I don't think the scheme change that ultimately happened this past season in Wisconsin did him any favors. I'm looking at the player from 2 years ago, a year ago, in terms of Braylon Allen. So we're gonna break tendency here, Dana. We're gonna go with Braylon Allen to the Broncos.
Get my tight end.
You think about a safety position.
Next to Justin Simmons.
Yeah.
They have who did I see on there?
This was our last pick for a while, so let's take a look. There wasn't.
They got JL Skinner. Yeah, they're gonna need a safety.
They need a safety.
Yeah, they need a safety.
Unless you move Riley Moss to safety.
He should be playing safety. Riley Moss should be playing safety. Damari Mathis he's still on the contract, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Damari Mathis. We got Kalen Carson. You obviously have PS2 out there. Riley Moss need to play safety.
Yeah,
Stop playing with me.
I go get my tight end then. Stop playing.
Is there any support here for Dalen Holker over Theo?
No. The
Okay.
board, man. The board, man. The board.
Theo Johnson is the selection here. He's actually our third ranked tight end on our draft board. So great value here. All right. And now we wait.
What's the next pick?
230.
Oh, man, I got a
And
minute.
then 237 after that.
We Mr. Irrelevant? Is that Mr. Irrelevant? I don't know what the last pick is.
No, it's not. It's not. Drew, you need some rest, man.
Bro, what's the last pick, bro? I don't know.
I don't know. Who
280,
cares?
260?
Well, it's never been 200. Well, I shouldn't say never. But since the 7th round draft, there's never been a 280. I think it's like 256.
Mathing, bro? What you mean?
Mathing.
All right, last two selections here.
I'm looking for speed. I'm looking for size, bro.
Look at this.
Understand?
Any DBs out there? I think they can add another DB. I know we went and got a corner already, right?
So we got Josh Proctor.
Strong safety. Yeah.
Talk about safety.
Yeah, I like Proctor as a strong safety. Come down in the box, help tackle.
Yeah,
Or your boy from Oregon. Your boy from Oregon over there still.
Oladapo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Oregon
State. My bad. Oregon State.
Who do you like here, Drew?
Let's go Proctor.
All right.
Josh Proctor, number 41. Proctor. I think that was his number.
Okay, and our last selection here.
Go give me the fastest guy on the thing, bro.
Come on, man.
Bro,
Speed.
what do you mean?
Let's go give me the fastest guy,
fastest
bro.
guy,
Al
bro.
Davis.
Trayvon Wallace.
Bro.
I'm thinking Wallace.
Trayvon Wallace.
And then there's Bookie there as well, because Bookie.
Let's-
Because Bookie.
Sure,
Are you
bro.
thinking Wallace over Bookie this time around?
Yeah, Drew said he wants speed. Wallace got the speed.
Mm,
Special teams.
there you
Not
go.
Bookie can play special teams too, though.
Yeah, bro. What you mean?
But you said you want the fastest guy, bro.
Dude, I don't know who's faster, bro. You know what I mean?
I think it's gonna be Wallace.
All right, go Wallace. You're probably right, bro.
All right. Final pick here.
Probably right.
This guy. Hey, man, make sure you get 8 hours, bro.
No, ain't no 8 hours, bro. It's probably too
Get
late,
that
bro.
good 4.
You know what I'm saying?
Solid 4. Solid 4.
I need some melatonin, bro. Stay asleep. Can't stay asleep, bro. Waking up like 3
You
hours
should have
in,
took a
bro.
nap, bro. You should have took a nap.
Nah, bro. No naps. Naps are for the week, bro.
All right.
You feel me?
So we tried. We tried to create some level of realism here, but PFF wasn't going for it. So we'll probably pivot in terms of mock draft simulators until PFF gets its act together. Jaden Daniels with the 12th overall pick. We trade Jerry Jeudy. The Kansas City Chiefs believe that they can fix him, and if there's any place that could potentially fix him, it's likely Kansas City. At least they'll put him in position to be successful. They're able to add a 2nd and 4th round pick, in which we use Brandon, the first of those 2 picks, on Brandon Dorless. We've talked about it ad nauseum in terms of the flexibility he offers you on the defensive line and the playmaking ability. I think we get so fixated on in terms of his versatility, we forget to mention just how effective he is in terms of using his hands, using leverage. He has a variety of pass rush moves. He's effective against the run. He's an excellent all-around player. Reason why we have him rated so high in our top 30 on our draft board. Dominic Pooney in the 3rd round. Malik Washington to replace Jerry Jeudy. So we're looking at our receivers being Marvin Mims, Sutton, and Malik Washington, our top 3 receivers. Kalen Carson to add to that secondary. There's a question mark in terms of his willingness to tackle. I think there were some business decisions and some injuries that he dealt with. So we'll certainly be putting him to task in order to come up and set the edge. Braylon Allen, I think, represents great value. This is the 4th round pick we got in the trade for Jerry Jeudy. There's last year your deal on the contracts associated with the running backs, Javonte Williams. Obviously, he started to kind of come into form coming off that injury, but I don't know if we're going to extend him long term. That's just generally not what's happening with the running back. So Braylon Allen, a very young player talented player comes in, and he's kind of the bell cow as early as 2025. Theo Johnson, our third-ranked tight end in the 5th round. I think that might be the best value pick in this particular mock draft. And then we follow that up with Josh Proctor and Trevin Wallace. So Headley, actually, I'll start with you, Drew, because you're about to fall asleep. Drew, your thoughts on this mock draft?
Yeah, I think we did the Broncos justice. Nah, man, I'm gonna go to sleep. I do that.
You definitely get them 8 hours. You'll definitely get those 8 hours.
Extra 8 hours. What? Yeah, so I love the pick with Jaden Daniels. Obviously, I thought we were gonna, if it worked out how it normally works out, we probably would have traded down, picked up JJ McCarthy, right, and got that got us a real second-round pick.
You're
versus
fixated on JJ McCarthy in this draft.
No, I'm trying to be realistic, bro. Right, in terms of what I think will happen. Right. Now, if Jaden Daniels is there,
JJ McCarthy wouldn't be there. JJ McCarthy wouldn't probably.
Oh yeah, you're right.
There.
My bad. They would have to trade up, right?
It'd be like a Penix Bo Nix situation.
I think he's actually going to go within the top 15, not necessarily the top 10. That's kind of where I think he would go for JJ McCarthy. But got Jaden Daniels do the responsible thing. The boys need a quarterback. Russell Wilson's out the door. Not sure where he's going to end up. I like that we traded Jerry Jeudy. Got back into the second round. Got Brandon Dorlus, who's versatile, play all over that line of scrimmage. We like him on the edge for the most part.
So you got to go to his day job. You can't sleep 8 hours because you got to do the day job.
Yeah, you got to do the day job. Dominic Pooney, who is playing tackle for Kansas, but we're going to kick him inside. That interior, that offensive line needs to be right. And when you talk about the Broncos, you talk about Sean Payton, he builds it inside out versus outside in, right? The tackles don't need to be beast. He wants his guards and his centers to be kind of the linchpin for that offense. Just that's the way he operates. Malik Washington is obviously taking the place of Jerry Jeudy. And I think Drew said it earlier, we kick Mims inside and then Malik Washington can play the inside. They'll probably play some games with that. But you were saying, you want somebody to be where they're supposed to be. So we got that there. And then Kalen Carson, in terms of his coverage ability, we like it. Just got to be able to tackle. And we think it's just a business decision. So because it's a business decision, we respect it. Plus he was injured. That makes it even more, makes it a little bit more sense as to why he was making a business decision, not to make it worse, right? Braylon Allen, in terms of the running back position, we're looking at 2022 and 2021 Braylon Allen, right? Freshman Braylon Allen. That was a beast. That was a different guy. That's running back one, right? Would we say that's running back one? Theo Johnson, I think he can give you the best of both worlds from the tight end position. Is an eyesore for this team. And so, unless what I call him earlier, Delucci. Yeah, Delucci shows. I like Delucci. Okay, I like him from UCLA. I think
solidarity for Mr. C. Praski. Solidarity, Drew.
Hey man, appreciate you. It's all love. Josh Proctor coming downhill in the box, sticking his nose in where it don't belong, but making plays. And then we went speed, man. We just went speed with the last pick and Trevin Wallace. So I think he will show out and shine come the combine. Man, I was watching some of his tape, man. He just got to be able to clear blocks a little bit sooner. I was watching him going against Jalen Wright. Clear them blocks, player. Otherwise, you're a liability.
Yeah, man. This draft, I think we did solid. Like you said at the top, I'm not sure how realistic Jaden Daniels is, getting him at 12. I think Denver will have to trade up to get Jaden Daniels, or trade up for JJ McCarthy, or stick at 12 and select Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. Both those guys are very experienced. So I think, Sean Payton would like the experience of those two quarterbacks. Sure. And also, I like what we did, trading Jeudy, getting the additional picks, selecting Dorlus, and the pick Pooney right afterwards, the trenches. We're a big proponent of the trenches over here at CPGM. So Dorlus on the defensive side, Pooney on the offensive side. I thought those were great picks. And one of my favorite picks right here for them is, trading Jeudy and selecting Malik Washington. We missed out on Malachi Corley, and Washington is similar to Malachi Corley. He's a shorter guy, but he plays bigger than his size. He's physical after the catch, very slippery. Broke Virginia records in receiving yards. So the production is there. He catches the ball across the middle, hands catcher. So a lot of good things I like about Malik Washington. He did his thing at the East-West Shrine game also, with separating. I think that's the biggest thing with him, just route running. But once he gets the ball in his hands, man, he's super electric. So love that 4th round pick for Denver. Kalen Carson, I would have went Josh Newton, but we did something different with Kalen Carson. I just think Carson just got to be dialed in. It's things on tape where it's really good, and it's things on tape. It's like he's making business decisions. He's not tackling. He's not putting his nose in there. So he just got to be dialed in. So hopefully we could dial him in. And then the rest of the picks Drew spoke about: Braylon Allen, Theo Johnson, Proctor, Trayvon Wallace to round out the draft.
All right. That's going to do it. That's going to put a bow on Minnesota Vikings and the Denver Broncos 7-round mock drafts. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on a Tuesday evening. Again, we tried several times to kind of simulate something a little bit more realistic as far as how the quarterbacks played out here, but PFF has made some changes and their algorithm is suggesting that a couple of the quarterbacks are going to slide. So interesting stuff. Great insight with respect to the players selected. Again, I want to thank everybody who tuned in. Mrs. C. Prasky, D. Kit, Dana, Mo, the whole lot here. I'm going to miss some names. James, Juke,
Shouldn't have started, bro.
Jake. I shouldn't have. But
started, bro.
I really do want to express my appreciation with everybody here, everybody who tuned in and commented, because of course we feed off of that. We got some new names to consider, to do some studying on. So the next time we see you, we'll be even more informed and share our thoughts with respect to those players. So again, great to have you guys join us. Be sure to take advantage of our underdog promo. The link in the description, promo code CBGM. For Hadley, Drew, this is Juice. We will see you guys on Friday.